Welcome everybody to Party Select, where two dudes and a guy who's their friend talk about the best thing there is, video games. I'm here with my esteemed co-hosts as always, both Kyle and Shay. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
I hold myself in great esteem. It is good to know that you do likewise.
Of course. Good.
Always nice to be recognized. Although it does denigrate the compliment a little bit to share it with Kyle. Like it just means less, you know? And I don't mean that as an insult to you, Kyle. It's more a compliment to myself.
Wow. Sometimes, even though you don't mean things a certain way, doesn't change the fact that they are the thing.
Right.
This is one of those times.
Anyway.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
We are, today we're doing our first tier list for the channel. This is a bit of content that we hope to do a few of here throughout the course of the year. And we thought we'd kick it off with the coolest looking video game consoles. This is not our favorite consoles necessarily. This is not the best game catalog. This is purely vibes. What are we getting from it? Does it look cool? Does it look garbage?
Yeah.
So I'm excited about this.
I had the opportunity to bring this up before we recorded, but I wanted to have the discussion live, so I waited. And
Okay.
I would like to pose a question to the two of you. Controllers, do they factor into the look of the console?
I think they can't. I think that had you brought this up a month ago when we had this idea, we maybe could have. But Cody,
I don't think they should, and I'm glad you both agreed because I think controllers should be a whole separate
tier list
thing. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I could see the argument. I could see the argument on like coolest looking console, including the controller, and it being a collective thing. That I feel like that's totally valid. That's just not what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're all on the same page.
Just the console.
Rock and roll.
Just the box.
Yeah. Because you can always get a different controller. You can't get a different console. So,
and also we're talking handhelds too.
For sure.
So where does that fit in? It is the system is the controller. Too tricky, man.
Dude, you're right. The system is the controller.
It is.
That's crazy.
Like you're holding the whole thing in your hands.
Wild.
Whoa.
So today, I think we have between handhelds and consoles here, I think we have 103 is what it's boiled down to. Obviously, there are going to, I tried to include as many as I could and that I could find. Some are going to be very minor iterations, a la like a Steam Deck to Steam Deck OLED, basically the same thing. So those will likely just get grouped together in the same ranking. But, I wanted this to be, comprehensive and all-encompassing of these consoles. So, without further ado...
You did a beautiful job.
Yes, nice job.
Thank you.
The images, Cody handmade all of the images.
He drew all the consoles.
The name. He drew, but from memory.
Yeah. I did. Took a long time.
You had to think back all the way to 1972. Like, what did the Magnavox Odyssey look like?
That's why that looks like nothing you've ever seen, because I made it up. I mean, frankly, it's fake.
Yeah,
honestly, dude, this would have been such a sick prank if you slid in one.
Maybe I did.
That was totally made up. In like 1984. The Peepoo Pop-Pop Box. Like, I would believe you.
Oh, well, hey, now
like
I know
Peepoo.
for Peepoo.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Aren't they a Korean company?
Yeah,
Peepoo?
yeah, Peepoo, yeah.
Cody quickly erasing the Peepoo Pop-Up Box entry from the list.
So we have here our tiers that we've come up with. Our top tier here being rad as hell. This console is elite. It's top of the bar. It's giving great vibes. Next, not great vibes, but solid vibes. It's not quite up to rad as hell, but solid vibes. They're definitely there. We then go down to meh. It's fine. It's all right. It's not giving the vibes we might be looking for. We then end with hard pass, literally just a box, and straight trash. So with that, I don't have the years up. So if you want to include those as we go through here, that would be great. Sure. But our first console here, as Shay mentioned, is the Magnavox Odyssey. Have
And that's
either of
in
you heard of this?
1972.
Have you heard of this or seen this?
I have.
Yes.
Actually, yes.
Okay. I had never.
The first.
This is the first game console in the U.S. I did double check that.
Yeah, it was super weird because it came with, or maybe you had to buy separately, these like plastic things you would put over your TV, to like for different games, because all it could really display was like a couple dots and a bar or something, and so you'd put these like plastic overlays on your TV, and that's how it would like do different games. Really, really weird stuff.
Interesting.
Irrelevant, bro.
Yeah.
Irrelevant. We're not
true.
here to talk about the consoles. Right. These things, the fact that they play video games doesn't even matter. We're in a store. we're in, the Smithsonian. And they have every single console in a big line, and we're walking from console to console saying, that's rad as hell. That is straight trash. That one is literally just a box. That's what we're doing here. Okay. And to me, when I look at the Magnavox Odyssey, this is giving hardcore 60s, 70s retro futurism.
Yeah.
I love the white. I love the brown around the outside.
Yep.
It's got like a separate dongle with the cable attached to it where it's like multiple pieces.
Yeah.
To me, like, this is at worst solid vibes. I like this a lot.
Yeah. I would go at worst meh, but yeah, I'm definitely in the top 3 tiers for sure.
Yeah, I think it lands in solid vibes.
Okay.
Because it's not rad as hell. It's certainly not meh. So I think solid vibes is good.
Great.
Yeah. The like cream white color.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That shit needs to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and nice. I like the kind of, it's got a little bit, or no, okay, that's a hard edge. I thought it had a little bit of a swoop, but it's kind of a hard edge.
Mm-hmm.
It's angles.
It's an optical illusion because of the
Yeah,
color.
right.
That's part of its appeal and mystique.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
All right, we got our first solid vibes. Up next, we have the Atari Pong, which I thought was the first video game console, but, hey, I learned something on this.
Okay. It's 1975, so 3 years after the Odyssey. I don't love this.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I was going to say this is an easy rad as hell. This thing looks like...
It looks like
a weird future radio with
Yes, it
knobs.
looks like a radio.
It looks so dumb, and I love
it. It's a face. It's a face in the bottom.
Yeah. It has the like speak and spell text on there.
That's the one redeeming thing to me is the like alien Geiger-esque tech letters. The whatever the 9-segment display.
Wow, now that you've said it's letters. A face, it is a face, and I can't not see that.
Yeah. It's like a cute little robot face.
I don't know that this is rad as hell.
I know, and I know we're not considering like the naming convention and part of our judgment. It's purely visuals and aesthetics. But I do like that it just says Pong on it. Like it's just very clear.
That's all it does.
You know what this is going to play?
Yeah.
Telegames.
And I also like that it has an Atari button on it. It's a whole button that just says Atari.
Hey man, when you need to Atari, you don't want to be messing with knobs and switches. When I want to Atari,
this ain't
I just want
C
a
button that you have to pay Nintendo for. This is the Atari button.
You get the whole button.
The whole function.
Take me to Atari.
Yeah.
I will accept a solid vibes on this, but I'm not willing to go lower than that.
Okay.
You guys really don't like this. That surprises me.
It needs to be bottom solid vibes.
Yeah, if it's thinking
it can go below. It can go below the Odyssey. That is fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's just like a little robot freak.
I mean, the Odyssey's definitely better than that.
Definitely.
So many, dude. I mean, we'll be able to look back at our list once we're at the end of this and make sure that like it passes a gut check. But so many of these consoles are just lame, squarish, black monstrosities.
Yeah, it's the further in the time we get, the more boring they get. For sure.
Nothing looks
kind
like
of.
this.
Kind of.
Yes.
We're about to enter peak Griswold era here, correct? With the next line of consoles.
So our next option here, or our next console here rather, is the Fairchild Channel F
In 1976.
This looks like an old tape recorder.
Yes, it looks like an old tape deck. 100%. Yeah, like an old reel-to-reel like tape recorder. I think like
this is
I can just imagine how clicking those 5 buttons on the front feels.
Very chunky.
Like big chunky clicky button presses, good haptics.
The wood paneling is cool. I like that, but other than that,
I love wood paneling.
It looks cheap. I love wood paneling also, but this looks cheap as hell.
I think this wood paneling does not look great.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think this is our first meh.
Or hard pass.
It's got to be lower than meh, bro.
Yeah, I think
hard
it might
pass?
be hard pass.
Okay.
Best.
I'm fine with a high hard pass.
This is gonna end up with like bottom of hard pass.
Yeah,
it's ugly.
It's
man.
pretty ugly. It's not getting much.
There's some consoles.
It looks like it's gonna fall apart. We're not just comparing. It's not just a purely comparative thing. We'll look at that once we're like into the where in the tier. But just taken on its own, I just think it's a really ugly console.
I don't disagree. Up next, the Atari 2600. I like the look of this.
Classic.
A lot. This is 77,
this is 77. This is a classic ass video game console. I like this a lot.
Yeah.
I think this thing is rad as hell.
Yeah.
Like it's got the wood paneling. I like the white contrasted Atari logo on there. It's got knobs. I'm a big knobber. Big
knobs
into
are good.
And I like the corrugated plastic on the top. That's gonna have good feel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a lot to like about the Atari 2600.
Yeah.
And it says video computer system, which is great.
I'm cool with this and rad as hell.
Okay.
It is hard, right? Like I said, we can't be comparative. It is hard to like think forward to consoles that I owned of like what do I think is rad as hell? Because like it doesn't wow me like it does you, Kyle, but I do really like it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a fair placement.
Okay.
Cool. Up next is the Coleco Telstar Colortron.
Great name. That's in 78, so a year after the 2600. This thing.
This is straight trash.
This is
straight trash.
Yeah, this is
absolutely trash.
Like it's the color brown is bad.
Yeah.
Like the little like wood paneling design behind the knobs is like a sticker. Everything about this is as cheaply manufactured as possible. The name is great, but the logo sucks.
Colortron, man.
Colortron, they only use 3 colors. It's
that is a little
weird.
Colors. That is a little weird, especially with
coming
the
from no
backgrounds.
colors, Colortron is like 3 is probably like a big deal, right?
That's true. That's fair. But yeah, this thing looks cheap as hell.
No, yeah, it's straight trash.
Yeah. Okay.
Man, we're just getting through these. Next up, we have the Mattel Intellivision.
This is in 79.
I like this.
This looks like a telephone receiver.
Yeah.
It's like an
cool.
Answering machine.
It's cool. And I like that
no,
you
it is
dock
not,
the
dude.
controllers in it.
No, this sucks.
Yeah, that is cool that there's dedicated controller
Ports, like seats in the thing. So that's all just like in a box.
I think this thing sucks. The color scheme is so hideous. The like gray-green with the wood panel.
Having
the
the
cream.
spots for the controllers is really the only thing I like about it.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool functionality thing.
High hard pass or above Fairchild right now in hard pass?
No, below Fairchild.
Really?
You think it's worse than that? It is a little more distinctly ugly. The Fairchild is just like...
That's fair.
Yeah,
like, I feel like the Fairchild is borderline just a box.
Yeah.
It's the buttons.
It looks
I
like
think
a
that
different
elevates it.
consumer electronic.
Yeah,
the Fairchild does.
Yeah.
This has its own thing, and that thing is bad. Interesting, but bad.
Yeah,
sure.
Okay. Up next, we have the Nintendo Game & Watch. Nintendo has entered the playing field.
Yes. 1980. I like
this is
the
a really
red and
cool
white.
piece of tech,
Yeah.
but
I don't like the form factor.
I don't like that the
like the
screen
form factor.
bulges out.
That's also weird.
And I disagree on the form factor because this thing is pretty small and like your hands kind of touch while you're holding it.
I said I don't like the form factor.
Okay, I thought you said you did like the form factor. Yes, I'm with you. The form factor is lame, which isn't totally in the spirit of what we're doing here, but in terms of like even just looking at it, I'm like that doesn't look comfortable to hold. And because it's a handheld console, that does matter.
Yeah.
Our first handheld, like I guess Teleco. I do not care for this.
I'm at most meh, or it's the top hard pass.
I would put it at the top of hard pass, I believe.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
Cool. Nintendo, the hard pass to start out. Up next from Atari, we have the 5200. Now, you can tell we're in the 80s because it has gotten so much more boring than the 2600.
We have had a
82.
recent resurgence of Just a Box, but this was peak Just a Box in my opinion. Like, we mentioned the Intellivision has sort of like telephone receiver vibes, and part of it's because the controller goes on. But like if you look at the Atari 5200, like I want to lift up the little flap and pull out my cassette to like replace it for my new answering machine. Like this, it just looks like
an answering machine. 110%.
It's got that really ugly gray bar across it.
Yeah.
To me, this one goes in Just a Box. There's nothing definable about it.
Yeah.
There's like no branding.
Yep.
I'm good with that.
Yep. Okay.
And to be clear, Just a Box is like you say that with derision. There's not a good version of Just a Box. Maybe there will be, but as of yet, there is not a there's not a good version of Just a Box.
All right. Coleco's coming back into the fold with the ColecoVision. Now this
1982 as well.
This isn't bad.
I do like.
I like the
there's
lights on the
There's
front.
a lot going on.
Yes.
It's they jam packed a bunch of stuff. Like I feel like you could. This is the first one I look at, and I'm like, this thing can do anything.
It's got the controller holder area.
See, I find that overwhelming. It's got too much going on to it. All the buttons and like the flap where you put the cart in. The shape of it is odd. Like it's got the weird little stand that's only on one side of the front of it. I'm not as into this as you guys. I definitely think it's a better version of... I mean, it's much better than Coleco's initial console, but when it looks similar to the Intellivision, and this is a much better version of that.
So is this
right?
But
meh?
I would put it in meh.
I get solid vibes from it.
I do too. I would be more in line with solid vibes over meh, but
I just don't.
I like it more than the Atari Pong personally.
That's what I was gonna say, man. Like, look, the Atari Pong is so weird and fun, and this doesn't have any of that. Like, this doesn't have vibes. This looks like a fax machine.
Oh, this to me, this is like
colors and the
this is like 80s retrofuturism to me. And that's what I like about it.
Kind of antithetical. Like there was no retrofuturism.
Sort of like what that intergalactic game, like that vibe, that like future tech.
Doesn't give that to me at all. It's the color, like it being such a bland color, and like it feels much more function over form. Like it has no aura, as the kids would say.
Oh, I disagree.
I think
with you and the kids.
Aura up.
Well, I don't know that the kids would say this has no aura. That is a thing with
the kids would probably say
kids
this is
these
Ohio.
days. Yeah, probably.
El Riz.
If you guys want to put this in solid vibes, that's fine. But I can't. It can't go above.
It can be on the bottom.
It can be on the bottom.
Yeah. That's fine. We know how you feel about Pong. I don't want to.
The Pong is like my early, it's my heart. I'm rooting for it.
All right, this next one I'll be interested to hear what your thoughts are. This is the GE and Milton Bradley Vectrex. This thing is
also
fucking
in
cool.
82.
This is
the
cool.
third console to come out in 82. This thing. So it's just a TV.
Yeah, right. Like we need a separate category. Literally just a TV.
I like what a strange shape.
Yeah.
As well.
Yes.
It's like it's
in
vertical
portrait
arcade
mode.
cabinet like. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's very weird.
And with like the size of it, you
like,
almost
it's
expect
also,
it to be a handheld, like to be a mobile, or
Yes,
like you
right.
take it
Right.
with you.
Right.
and like why?
But I bet you that thing is heavy as hell.
Why is the bevel so deep?
Yeah.
That's what
Because
I
you're
wanna
putting it
know.
right up against your face. You gotta like shove your face in there.
It's like those eye tests at the DMV where you got to go all the way in.
Yeah.
Like I'll give it some points for weirdness because I'm a big fan
it's
of
the
weirdness.
first console with a screen.
Yeah. Well, the Game
Yeah.
& Watch.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
non-handheld. Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
I'll give it some points for weirdness in that capacity, but I still think it's ugly. Like I feel like the weirdness might move it to a meh.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm
Okay.
at with it.
Yeah. Okay. GE Milton Bradley Vectrex going into the Met category. All right. Now we got a heavy hitter. Our first of the night. It is the Nintendo Entertainment System.
In 85.
So 3 years later? All right.
I don't know if this is
Yeah.
a hot take, but like I'm not super hot and bothered by the NES design.
Me neither.
I think the SNES is
Like,
better.
I'm completely removing any nostalgia for the games library and the experience I had playing games because I played some Atari 2600 at like I think it was like my piano teacher had an Atari 2600 in her basement. But like this was the first console that I played with any regularity as a kid. But
I like
purely
that you
looking
lift
at
the
it,
flap to put the card
Yes.
in.
Yeah,
that is a
that's good.
cool design.
Yeah. The Legos was fun to make of this. I'll say that.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think this fits into just a box,
No,
but I
no,
feel
no,
like
no.
it's meh.
No.
Like I'm not gonna pass on
It's
it.
not
'cause
hard.
I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it sucks.
It's meh. I think this is better than the Vectrex.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Because this isn't ugly in any way. It's just not.
Yeah.
It's not giving me
It's
anything.
not. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the little bit that's like a mirror black finish. I'm a sucker for mirror black finishes. I like that a lot.
That's the Netflix show,
Got
right?
good news for you in the early aughts and 2010s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Up next we have Atari's third venture here, the 7800.
This is an 86.
This is like the Ferrari racing version of the 5200.
Yes.
Yeah. It's still an answering machine, but they've rounded some of the edges.
It's sleek.
But it's
Yeah.
not a box
Like this-
anymore.
It's not a box. This is not a box.
Yes.
It's better than a box. It's rounded and
Yeah.
flat.
It's a folio.
I like this. I like it. I like the little colored
Do you?
line on the gray thing.
I
I don't
do
think
like
it's
the color
incredible,
line.
but I do like it.
Do you like it more than
Like
the
this
NES?
this I do. I would give this solid vibes. This is the only console we've looked at so far that is sleek. Everything we have seen is bulky
That's fair.
and angular, and in some cases as a positive, bulky and angular in a cool way. But this is the first one that like feels, cool.
I know Kyle and I are hot on the ColecoVision, but I don't like this as much as the ColecoVision.
Me neither.
If it goes in solid vibes, it's at the bottom currently.
Yeah.
I can live with that. It is pretty simple.
Yes.
I don't want to like over rotate
Yeah,
on
there's-
how much I like
The coolest thing it's got
lot
is
going
the
on.
sleekness in the line, the color line.
100%.
Right.
That's
100%.
about it. So,
Yeah. More
And
consoles
that takes it far.
should have that color line.
Yeah.
for sure. Okay.
Brands are afraid of color these days, man.
Boo.
All right,
Yeah.
going into the next console here, we have a new competitor joining the fray, and that is Sega, maybe, with the Master System.
This
I'm
was
sure
also
they'll
an
be
86.
around forever.
Hey,
I mean, it's
we're not doing controllers, but I really like that analog. The look of that analog stick on this thing looks really. I like the look of that a lot. This looks the most like a cassette player.
The most like a cassette player.
Like it has a giant play button on it.
It is also like that's what you would play. Though they were cassette tapes.
Oh.
Okay. I believe so. That sounds right to me. But yeah, I don't love it. I think this is a hard pass for me.
I think it's ugly.
Yeah. Yeah. Now within there, I think it's better than the Intellivision.
It's better than the Intellivision. Is it better than the Channel F? It has red on it, which is my favorite color. So I would say yes. Yeah, it's better than the Channel F.
Yeah, I think it's right behind the Game & Watch.
I'm with you.
Yep.
Okay. Because it's not. It is just a tape player, but also it's got that trapezoidal bit that comes up.
Yeah.
It's
got some angles. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Up next, we have the Hudson Soft TurboGrafx 16.
This is an 89. This is hideous.
Put this at the top of just a box purely because it's 2 boxes. So it gets extra points. Extra box points.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
yep.
okay.
I'm good with that.
Sure.
I'm good with that.
All right. Moving on.
Like, what the hell's going on here?
I have no idea.
Shay, when one box loves another box,
they become the TurboGrafx 16.
And is that the controller is the little baby box?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. Up
and
next,
it looks like you can divorce those boxes.
Yeah,
it looks like they would come apart.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know where does the game go?
Broken Home TurboGrafx.
Yeah, dude. Sorry. when the baby box turned 16, that's when it all fell apart. Mommy box and daddy box just don't love each other anymore.
The controller blamed itself.
Hudson, the dad's named Hudson, and he can't get hard.
Too soft.
It was too soft.
We should move on.
Yes, let's move on. Next up, we have a classic. We have the Nintendo Game Boy.
Whew, this is also 1989.
This thing
is rad as hell.
This is rad as hell.
I like this a lot. I am not a fan of the color of this. The same with the NES and the SNES. The kind of off gray color. I don't love the color, but they turned an NES controller into a system. That's what this looks like. Yeah. That's rad as hell.
Yeah.
Right. And I just love they gave it that one rounded edge, and it has that volume dial. The spin dial for the volume. Great.
Yeah.
See, the rounded edge sets off my OCD a little bit. I don't like the asymmetry of it, but I can look past that.
I also like that they put a lot of texture into it, right? It's got all the ribbing stuff on the back for your hands, and then it's got the cool little routed out bits up at the top, and I believe that's what the light attachment would sink into. It would kind of sink into those lines to grip.
It also mirrors the top of the cartridges. I think if memory serves, it kind of lines up with where the cartridge goes.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that above the 2600?
Yes.
Sure.
For me, it is.
Okay. Yeah. I can be swayed. Yeah. Okay. We have a new top of the chart here with the Nintendo Game Boy. Up next, we have the Sega Genesis.
The Model 1 in 1989.
The original Genesis.
I don't mind this one.
It's got a volume slider on it, which is kind of cool.
Which is cool. Yeah, and a little headphone
port. Jack. I like where the carts go. I like that.
I like the splash
of red on looks there. Really special.
The Sega Genesis logo is great. All-time classic.
Would sound come out of the system if no headphones were in? So that's on a speaker in the top left of it? Or is that like a vent? Is that ventilation or something?
I think so.
Yeah, that's probably ventilation.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that volume thing was just for the headphone out.
Okay.
because like through the S video or whatever, that would carry sound.
I see. Okay.
All in one cord. So,
I think this is.
I like this one. I think it's solid vibes.
Yeah.
I think. Above Coleco. For me, above Pong, below Odyssey. Shay, how do you feel about? You probably don't want Genesis.
I'm kind of meh on the Genesis.
Okay.
Like I meh is a tricky category because it's in between liking it and not liking it, which is how I feel about the Genesis. There are components I like, but it's hard for me to like work up passion for it.
I really like that circular area.
I do. I like the circle also.
Yeah.
If we're using
like
the Pong,
it's a hint at what's to come. The disc-based gaming.
Oh,
yeah. If we're using the Atari Pong as sort of like the barometer, I think this goes below the Pong, but maybe like that's where it goes, is right below the Pong.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay.
Because I do like it more than the ColecoVision.
Yeah.
So. Okay.
Sega Genesis is ranked. Up next, we have the Commodore 64.
And it's 1990. This is just a keyboard without keys.
This thing sucks.
This sucks.
I don't like this
lame.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know
trash.
that
I think it's trash, dude.
It is trash. You're right.
It's better than the Colortron.
The logo sucks.
It's better than the Colortron, but
The logo sucks.
In a way, like it's kind of worse because it's nothing.
That's fair.
Like it looks like a giant floppy disk that like you flattened with a hammer.
Yeah.
It even has the little like viewport thing like you would on a
Right.
floppy disk.
This might be worse than the Colortron.
I don't know, like how cheap the Colortron looks.
But this is nothing.
Yeah, but the Colortron looks like it will disintegrate after 1 year.
Yeah, I don't think it's worse than the Colortron. The Colortron is like, it's trying for something, and what it's trying for is just so fucking ugly. This is just lame.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Well, the Colortron got some company down there in straight trash. And up next, we have another handheld, the Atari Lynx.
Also in 1990.
Boy.
I think this is ugly as fuck.
Yeah.
Huge
hate
fan of the
this
logo.
Yeah.
That left
the
side
name
of the
is good, the
console,
logo's
just the analog over there is
That
very
sucks.
weird.
That sucks. Just the D-pad, that sucks.
Yeah.
Also,
And when you're thinking form
speaker
factor,
only on the right side.
and your thumb is going to be over the speaker when you're holding it. Like when you're not actively pressing buttons, your thumb is like on the speaker. That doesn't make any sense.
This thing sucks. I think this is also straight trash. I think it goes above.
It's not
the
as
Commodore
bad
64.
as those, but
Right,
yeah.
but I think it's going to be towards the top of straight trash when all said and done.
What do you think about the color?
I don't like the color gray. It's like
It's kind of that like.
There's too
I
much
would
blue or
qualify
green
this
in it or
as
something.
like this is like military gray. Yeah, where it's kind of that like bluish steel kind of gray color.
It
like
looks
when
like
I see this, I think of like fatigues.
it has
And
the
that-
form
That's a pejorative.
of it. Like this is like a top-down photo of a car. Like if you put wheels under that thing,
Yeah,
this is a car.
you're right.
Oh yeah, because it kind of has that like hourglass shape a little.
Yeah.
You're right.
No, yeah, this is
Yeah,
straight
it sucks.
trash. This is
I put it at the top of straight trash though.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Up next we have the SNK Neo Geo.
Also in 1990.
This is the just a box version of the Genesis.
Yes, it is. I don't think it is literally just a box because it's got some angled stuff going. It's got the raised bits where the cart goes in.
Okay.
Like, it's got some more visually. I like the depression where the power button would be. I bet that feels really good when your thumb goes in.
I
there and it's
really
like
like the logo. Like something about this when I was making this.
Very
this
classy.
feels like classy. That's perfect. This feels like a high-end, like luxury
consumer
product.
electronic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it's got that like silk satin black.
I do. Yes, I like
think it's
the
good.
material,
Golden
the
black.
look of the material. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is solid vibes.
Okay, no, I don't think it. I wouldn't go that far.
it's
'Cause
meh.
I was
It's
gonna,
meh.
yeah,
Okay.
I was gonna say this goes in hard pass because I agree that it isn't just a box. But I think, given what we had said about it, I feel like it deserves a meh.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's not interesting in the way that like the
that's fair.
Vectrex is interesting. So I think it's the bottom of meh right now.
Okay.
I'm with that.
All right.
Oh my god, this next one.
Well, the Atari Lynx is making a comeback here. Not a hopefully a comeback, but
Hardware
a return
refresh.
with the Gen 2. Holy shit!
In 1991, this thing
What did they learn?
sucks
What did they
even more.
learn? What can we tell that they learned?
They took the Lynx and just had like a really strong man or woman just like
squish it. Yeah.
It even
This-
looks like
this
it where
sucks
it's
even
like
more.
it's thicker in the middle
Yeah,
and
yeah.
tapers
Totally.
out towards the sides.
Man,
This
that
sucks even more.
that D-pad.
This is
that D-pad looks so uncomfortable.
Yeah. This is worse than the Commodore 64 to me.
What do you mean? You mean the color tracks or whatever?
No, the Commodore.
No, worse than the Commodore. So it would be the second
I
worst
see.
straight trash.
Yes.
The Commodore
yeah.
is just boring. This is actively bad and hateful.
Yep, I'm with you.
Yeah. All right. The Lynx was just never set up for success.
No,
apparently.
it was not. It was not.
Up next, we have another big swinger with the Nintendo or the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, 1991.
I like this more than the NES.
Oh,
100%.
for sure. Yes. This is, I think,
I don't think this is a rad as hell, but it's
I think
certainly
it's
a
solid
solid
vibes.
vibe.
Yeah, the purple is fucking rad.
The purple
I like-
Purple's
rolls,
great.
but pulling down the purple knot like
Yes,
that
sliding.
feels great to
Yes,
do.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I like it.
The eject button is
Yeah.
very springy there in the middle between the two.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think this one goes above the Pong.
I think this
Okay,
is
thank
better
you.
than the Magnavox, frankly.
You like this more than the Odyssey. I don't know about that. I really like the Odyssey.
I really
I
like
I
the
would've-
Odyssey as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would have put the Odyssey in rad as hell. I know you guys weren't as passionate about it. Yeah, I would put this below the Odyssey.
Okay. All right. I'm all right with that.
We may want to move the Odyssey
Yeah,
up and all
yeah.
said and done, but we'll see.
Well, we'll see
We
where
should move if we all agree we should move it
All
up.
right, let's just move it up. Let's move the Odyssey
Let's
up.
move it up. Yeah.
And that way
That
the
feels
Super
right.
Nintendo
That
gets to
feels
be the
right.
top solid
That
vibe.
feels right. Yep. I'm good with that.
Okay.
Okay. Up next, we have a console I've always actually wanted to try playing on. Is the Philips CDI.
This is also in 91.
This is a box. This is just a box.
It's like they stuck a fat PS3 into like a cement mold.
A bed frame.
Yeah, into a bed frame. It's it's the fat PS3's bed.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's got the little like stubby little legs on the outside.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
the only thing that makes me like, is it just a box? It might be more than just a box.
It's just giving
It's
nothing.
like it's a box on one of those industrial shelves.
Yeah, like the metal shelves things.
Yeah, the metal corner unit shelves. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you guys think this belongs in just a box?
I don't
if it's
think so.
if it's not in just a box, I'm getting literally nothing from this.
It's
So is that a hard pass? I guess.
I think yeah, because I don't think it's trash.
no.
I don't know, dude. It might be trash.
it might be
If it's not
trash.
a box, I think it's trash.
If it's not a box, I think it's trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks cheap too. It's the
does.
finish on the
Yeah.
material. It makes it look
bad finish.
really plasticky.
Yeah.
Is this below? I think this is. Is this below or above the Lynx?
I think it goes above the Lynx.
Okay.
Or maybe not. I don't know.
No,
This
the
thing
Lynx at
sucks.
least. Yeah, this sucks. I think this is below the Lynx. The first Lynx.
Yeah, below the Lynx and above the Commodore 64.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
The Lynx is horrible. I can sense in your voice, Kyle, your hatred for the Lynx, and you don't like putting something below the Lynx. Just keep in mind, it's in straight trash, man.
I know.
It's
I
at the
know.
top of straight trash right now. It
and
probably
at
won't
least
stay
there's
there.
another color on the Lynx. You know, like at a minimum.
And it's got that. It's got that
we
good
like
logo.
the logo. We like the logo.
Okay. Now, this next one I know is near and dear to at least one person's heart on this podcast. It is the Sega Game Gear.
Yes, also 1991. The best handheld so far.
I love this.
It's not saying a lot. I love the Game Gear.
Okay, so maybe it's because I've never had one.
It's big and fat and chunky. It feels good.
I love the shiny finish.
Yeah.
It looks like it's got my finger oil all over it already.
Totally. The main problem with the Game Gear, the screen is too small for the size of the handheld. It's just a little too small. But it's got, like, they did all these ergonomic passes on it where, like, where your fingers would be sitting, they're, like, carved out of the plastic, and it feels really good.
But remember, personal attachment to these aside, what are the vibes it's giving you, though?
100%.
It's a pretty good vibe.
Based on looking at it, you can tell where your fingers go that it's going to feel good. We mentioned, I don't remember which one it was, but about the power button being the indent for your thumb. Yeah. That's what this does with the D-pad and with the buttons. Right. The blue start button is sick. I don't know why it's blue, but it's awesome.
I also don't know why it's a different color than the blue to the left of the screen. But
don't think about it, man. It looks cool.
I really like the red, green, blue colors there.
Yeah,
next to the screen. I like the Game Gear font, little logo. You also get the awesome Sega logo on there.
The buttons are 1 and 2. Like, get out of here with X and Y, A and B. That doesn't make any sense. I want numbers.
We use numbers for everything else.
This is a thinking man's handheld.
Curious, where in solid vibes do you think this lands?
Above Pong.
Yeah, I would still put it below the SNES though.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
Okay. All
right. Now this next one is the Sega CD. We are looking at the attachment. So this is a Genesis, which you already ranked, with the Sega CD attached to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
As a package,
it's the Voltron console.
As a package, this looks fucking sick.
Yeah. It looks like bolting shit onto shit. It's my favorite. It is my fucking favorite thing we've ever done with video game consoles. This is rad as hell to me.
And yet you didn't like the TurboGrafx.
The TurboGrafx. You saw the TurboGrafx though, right? You saw the TurboGrafx though, right? See, we took a Solid Vibes Genesis, right? Model 1 Solid Vibes Genesis, and then bolted on this fucking crazy thing on the bottom. It's got these clips on the side that keep them held together. It looks like it's gonna like fucking aircraft carrier, what are one of those things? The fucking things from Halo, the Pelican drop ships that like drop the tanks. It looks like one of those. Like it's picked up a tank and it's gonna fly off with it. It looks fucking awesome. I love this thing.
Yeah, it does. It has a little bit of like Megazord energy. Simultaneously, it looks a little bit like the cute little robot brother of the Sega Genesis because it's just the picture is smaller, but it looks like it's just kind of like it's kind of a squat, like he's crouching down.
Yeah,
I like it. I would put it above. Oh, you think this is rad as hell?
Yes.
That's where I have it. That's where I have
100%.
Oh man,
I think it's bottom rad as hell.
Yeah.
I think it's above the Odyssey for me.
No way.
It's above the 2600. It's above the 2600 for me.
You're crazy.
I really like the look of this. Yeah.
I love the shit out of this.
Yeah, I do too.
See, this is where it's tough because I like the Odyssey more than the 2600. So I was like, if you want to put it above the 2600, whatever. But I don't want it above the Odyssey. The Odyssey's got way more going for it.
You know what? I'm okay with the Odyssey above the 2600. Oh. Cody, what about you? 2600 is a classic. I do like, especially
the Odyssey is so cool.
This isn't the conversation. It isn't the conversation. It was the first one, and it looks that cool. I know it's not the conversation, but
yeah, it doesn't get like extra vibes points, for being first. But the fact that it was first and it looks that cool and no one else just tried to imitate that's weird.
You know, I'll be honest.
Like it feels like Atari went in a completely different direction.
It kind of looks like a butter dish, and that's all I see when I look at it. So
you're not wrong.
Dude, if your butter dish looks like that, you've got cool fucking plates.
Butter dishes.
That's true. You got rad as hell butter dishes.
Yeah.
The
for
CD
me-
is in rad as hell. It just is. It looks so fucking cool.
It's like fucking because you know, like when you when you look at it, you know everything that's happening with it. Like
the
the
hell
look
does that mean?
is. I'm trying to articulate. And
I
doing a
feel like
bad
it's
job,
the opposite
obviously.
of that. I look at this and I'm like, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of buttons. It's two things connected to each other. I'm not saying that I don't like it. I'm surprised by how much you guys like it.
It's the same thing as the ColecoVision. It's just that it's that 80s future tech look, like complicated tech look. I like the look of that a lot.
And I like that when you look at it, you know it is just a thing bolted onto another thing.
It's pretty cool.
They clearly belong together, but it is a thing bolted onto another. Like it is clearly two separate things that have been bolted together
The other thing to consider,
to create a more powerful being.
without the Genesis attached to it, the console itself.
But the console itself doesn't function without
That's
being
fair.
attached
That's
to
fair.
the Genesis.
So you have to look at the whole picture. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is rad as hell.
Yeah, I don't want to get it caught up in the semantics because with that argument, like you could make an argument that the Sega CD isn't actually a console; it's like a peripheral.
Sure.
Right.
But who cares?
Yeah.
We
So,
can
Shay,
include
you
or
would-
exclude whatever we want.
If
you
want
wanna
to
put
put
it-
solid vibes,
I would put it in solid vibes. I'm
so it
fine
should be
with
the
it.
bottom of Rad as Hell.
Yeah, I would put this like below the Game Gear. Probably below the Pong, but I would be okay with it above the Pong. So I wouldn't put it higher than the 2600 personally. But if you guys are that passionate about it, I think it probably belongs above the 2600.
Let's put it at the bottom of Rad as Hell.
Okay. All right, go up there. Sega CD, our fourth rad as hell. All right, let's go back to some stupid shit here. The Atari Jaguar. Oh boy.
93.
This thing looks.
The
it
logo
looks like
sucks.
It looks like a corporate phone, like that you'd get
Yes,
at a
like
desk
an
job.
intercom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Especially with the big
This
red
sucks.
button on it.
Yeah.
This is straight trash.
With the logo, I can give you that. Because I think
Yeah.
it's like it's stupid, but it's inoffensive. But the
Like,
logo
if they went
sucks.
if SNK made this and it was like a Neo Geo and then like they sleeked it out and had like a nicer finish and then like a nice Neo Geo thing, this would look very corporate and like that would at least be an identifiable look. This is just like I don't know what they're doing here, and then they slap on that logo and it's like, who are you guys?
It's
Who are you even? You have this incredible Atari logo, and you just left it behind because edgy '90s marketing. That sucks.
It's really small on my screen, so I can't make it out. But and again, the controller doesn't necessarily matter. What are the 9 or 12 buttons there? Is that like a dial pad?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Huh.
But yeah,
Again, not that it matters.
if we were ranking controllers, the controller would also go in straight.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So is this at least better than the Lynx?
No. This offends me more than the CDI because the CDI again is just boring and looks like a bed frame.
No, dude, the CDI is worse. The bed frame thing is so dumb.
But
I think it goes
You know
below
what
the
this
Lynx.
looks like? This looks like a fucking laser tag sensor.
That's kind of cool, actually.
It's not.
Like, you're kind of
It's not.
selling me on it.
No. Those laser tag kits always look stupid as fuck.
here's the thing with the CDI. It because it gives nothing. It's hard for me to say that it's worse. Like it's just nothing. It's so bland and gives just nothing. So I don't know if that means it's good or bad. So that's a hard one to use as sort of the barometer for what's worse or better. Again, just with the color thing, at least there's color and variation from that regard.
I think the color is to its detriment because the red button is lame all by itself, and the font on the Jaguar is so cringy.
It's awful.
And it looks like that controller fits in the console, which we've liked in other ones.
Right. That's fair. It kind of looks like a Predator to me. There's something about
like the Alien versus Predator, or like a sexual
no, but just like a sexual predator,
or the other more common version of an animal that kills.
Maybe if it was called
like
a cougar.
that kind. Okay, yeah.
Maybe it was called a cougar. No, but it looks like it's because it's like the rounded thing on the front and the fact that it's kind of raised in the front, like it looks like it's like leaning forwards.
Imagine an Atari Jaguar hovering in the air in front of you.
Yeah, I would put this below the Lynx.
Okay.
That would be my spot for it.
I'm fine with it there, yeah.
Yeah, it's still in straight trash.
I don't want to talk about the Atari Jaguar anymore.
All right, up next, we have the 3DO company, 3DO. Actually made by Panasonic officially, but...
Yeah. This is also 93, same as the Jaguar. This, look, I know it's got those bulbs on the sides, but this is just a VCR. Yes. It's just a box.
Just like how I don't remember what I was saying, which one I said, the Neo Geo maybe, like the just a box version of the Genesis. This is the just a box version of the CDI.
Of the Sega CD. Oh, CDI, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's got like the bedpost things on the ends.
Yes. Yeah.
Are we ranking the boxes or are we just throwing these bad boys in there?
Oh, we're ranking.
Oh, we got to rank them.
Okay.
I think they should be ranked by most box.
Yes. Yeah. I agree.
Okay. In which case, this is
the
not
least
as
box.
Yeah, it's the least box so far. Yep.
Bottom.
Okay. All right. It'll be hard to beat two boxes, but we'll see.
Dude, it's gonna be hard.
Some might say it's gonna be impossible. Well, I don't know. We haven't looked at every console. Maybe there's a 3-box version somewhere.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, going into that sort of ambiguity of peripheral versus console, is the Sega 32X.
So I think the picture you have here is the Model 2 32X. I there might be a Model 1 that is more stylistically consistent with the boxier Gen 1 Genesis. Model 1 Genesis. I feel like when we went to Torg, there was that vendor who had all of it stacked up, the Sega CD, the Genesis, and the 32X. I think it was all Model 1 stuff. And I think it was a different looking 32X. Like it was more boxy. Because this has all the curves and stuff of the Model 2 Genesis.
Sure.
So, really, this it goes inside the cartridge slot of the Genesis and sits on top. So it's 3 things tall.
Ooh, man.
Which...
that doesn't... that doesn't get rad as hell. I'm not as into this as I was the CD, but I don't think this is a hard pass. I think this is maybe the end
I think it's a meh
at best.
Yeah. I think it's better than the Neo Geo.
Yeah,
in terms of the look of it.
I'm not seeing a different 32X. There might have only been the one.
Well, this is the one we've got, so this is the one we're talking about.
Yeah.
If there's another one, it doesn't exist. Do not look it up.
Yeah.
I'm fine with above the Neo Geo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. And then moving on to the Sega Genesis Gen 2.
This sucks. They took the Genesis and they neutered it.
When did this one
look
come
how
out?
they massacred my boy.
It is it is less cool.
When did this one
They
come out?
made the circle into an oval. An oval is objectively a worse circle.
You're right.
I will say, not that this matters.
It's a circle for people who can't draw a perfect circle. They just turn it into an oval.
This is the Genesis I remember. I don't remember the first
this is the one
one.
that I have.
Yeah.
Correct.
This is the one that I have. I do prefer the look of the Gen 1.
Yes, totally. This is meh bordering hard pass.
I mean, I don't think this is worse than the Neo Geo. And we put that in meh. It's kind of the same thing. I still think the Genesis logo is better than the Neo Geo.
I think the NES is better than this.
I think the Neo Geo as like as a whole package, how sleek and kind of like high-end consumer electronic it feels, is better than this. So I'm cool with this at the bottom of meh.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Okay.
Because it's definitely not hard pass for me, but it's not as cool as that Neo Geo.
Okay. Is it just a box? Do you feel like it's elevated over just a box?
Yeah, it's got all those fun curves. Yeah. It's got the oval. Yeah. I also like the buttons. I like how the Genesis Gen 2 buttons feel.
Up next, we have the SNK Neo Geo CD. This is a box.
This was also 94. This is also a box.
Yes.
It's very box.
It's a little more box than the 3DO.
I don't think it is, but it looks like there's like that plate on the top is leather.
No way. But the photo definitely looks
I don't think
it
is, but
it does look like that.
The photo looks that way.
I think this is more of a box than the 3DO.
Yes.
Because the 3DO has some of like the circular bedposts.
I think this is more of a box than the 5200.
I don't.
So there are different versions of this thing.
We're not talking proportions.
Okay.
It is
it's
plastic.
Just the vibe.
I found another.
Does it give box vibes?
Yes.
And this definitely gives box vibes. I think it gives less box vibes than the 5200 does.
Yeah, it's just
because
plastic.
of that.
If it was leather, that might go into raddest. It's just plastic.
Give us our first leather video game console, please.
Yeah, dude, come on.
All right, 3DO. Going into literally just a box. All right. Oh boy, we have the Sony PlayStation
94.
The GOAT.
It kind of is just a box,
but then everything else is circles. Circles ain't boxes.
Yeah, I definitely think this is elevated over just a box. And part of it's the color of it too.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the PlayStation gray a lot more than the early Nintendo gray.
Yes.
Yeah. And the PlayStation logo rules with the color.
Yeah.
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 Like I don't think this I'm trying to separate myself from the nostalgia of it.
Yes.
Because there's also, like, the way the flap raises up to put your CD in there. Pretty fucking cool looking.
It's good.
I like this more than the Super Nintendo. I think this could be the new top.
I do not.
Okay.
I don't. I would, because knowing that you guys aren't passionate about the Pong, like, I would put this above the Pong. I like the Game Gear more than this.
Yeah, it's definitely above the Pong. I also like the Game Gear more.
Okay. I have no attachment to the Game Gear, so it can go right there.
Okay.
Right.
That's good. It's high solid vibes.
The PS1, the PS1 is way better. The little guy.
The PSX? You mean? The mini version?
No. I think this original one is PSX, right? And then the mini one was PS1 ONE.
I think that's right.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. Let's see. Up next, we have the 3DO Company 3DO Gen 2.
Wow. Also 94.
Distinctly less boxy than the first generation.
It's true. Also, it says the word real on the thing, which is fun.
It's awesome.
What is that?
It looks like a L'Oreal, like...
yes, it does.
With the font.
It super does. This console's gonna wash your hair. Single controller port on the front concerns me for the utility of it. It also just looks kind of like a message answering machine.
I think this is a hard pass.
Yeah.
It's not trash, but it's a hard pass.
Yeah, I mean, joking about the logo aside, it's an ugly ass logo.
I think it goes below Channel F. above in television, maybe.
Yeah,
because I like the Channel F. I like those
Channel
big
F
chunky
sucks.
buttons on the Channel F, and I like the wood paneling, even if it's not the best wood paneling look we have.
All right, we have a return up next of a faded console. Let's see how it does. It is the Atari Jaguar CD. Ooh.
This was in '95. They did it wrong.
Yeah, look at the comparison between this and the Sega CD.
I'm not saying
Sega
this is as good as this CD, but I don't understand how you're going to hate on this. This looks so much better than just the Jaguar.
Here's the thing. It does look so much better than just the Jaguar, but Sega knew CD on the side or on bottom, not on top. Crazy. Atari crazy.
So
now you have all right, here's the real thing. Now that shitty Jaguar logo is on there twice.
It is on there twice.
And then think of this too. Did they make the original Jaguar knowing that they'd have that thing to attach on there? So does that actually make the original Jaguar worse? Because that spot was designated for a future product?
Yeah. Well, how many years prior? So 93, so it was 2 years later.
I mean, what was the point of that space prior to the CD existing?
That's a fair question.
Not to retroactively move something, but I'm just saying, like,
I don't think the Jaguar needs to move.
So
I
the
think
Genesis,
it's a fair point, but
the Genesis also did that, but they hid it, right? It's a little port on the side you pull off, and it's got like sort of like a what's the almost like a thing with a bunch of pins on it, like a card with a bunch of pins that then slots into the Sega CD. The Gen 2 does that on the side. And then I don't know what the attachment mechanism looks like for the first gen, but this thing sucks. I think it's at
the bottom of Hard Pass. Does it get an upgrade out of trash?
I think it's still straight trash, but it's like the top of straight trash. I think it supplants the Lynx.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
I hate it that much. I think it looks way better with the CD on top.
Yeah, again, I could go hard pass.
Predator version of it.
Go hard pass.
This kind of does look like the Alien Predator. It looks like a praying mantis.
I gotta respect attaching things to consoles, and I think that might get it out of trash. I think we go at the bottom of hard pass.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh boy. Up next we have the Nintendo Virtual Boy.
This was also in 95. So this is our first headset.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this.
Maybe our only headset.
I think it's the only one, yeah.
I like the Virtual Boy in those like magazine action shot advertisements with all the crazy neon colors and stuff, and the kids like in the game doing his like crazy 90s marketing face, that thing. I think divorced from that, it doesn't look great.
I like that it's red. That's a good
I like
vibe.
that it's red also.
Me too.
I know we're not considering the controller, but that controller needs to eat a burger.
Yeah.
You gotta thicken up. You gotta thicken up.
I think like this is cool tech vibes. I like it like this is like a new thing, and it's a first of its kind sort of thing.
Futuristic.
Yeah, I think those vibes are good there.
Interestingly, you can kind of see the beginnings of a GameCube controller in that Virtual Boy controller, which is interesting. Like the round bits and stuff, they did that on the GameCube controller.
Yep. Yeah.
This is above hard pass for me. This is above hard pass.
I like it.
Yeah,
I think it has. I would give it solid vibes. I like this.
Yeah.
I like the color a lot. I like how futuristic it looks. It's the right kind of
The stand is hurting
stupid.
it for me. The stand is hurting it for me. I think the stand is pretty dumb.
Where would you put it?
In meh, somewhere. Maybe above the Vectrix or above maybe top of meh.
See, I would put it above the 7800 in solid vibes because I know you guys like the ColecoVision.
That's where I'm at.
Where in meh would you put it, Kyle? Above the Vectrix?
Probably at the top of meh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just think it's better.
It's more
it's
interesting
better than meh. Yeah.
It's more interesting than that. You're right. So either bottom of solid vibes or right there. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I don't know. Is it cooler than the color bar on the 7800?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I disagree. I like that color line a lot.
That's such a small part of that console.
It makes it for me though.
No, I agree with you. That it's in solid vibes in big part because of that, but there's also a reason why it's on the bottom of solid vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Up next, we got another handheld, Sega's entry with the Sega Genesis Nomad.
And this is in 95 as well.
I've never heard of this.
Just a box.
This is interesting. This is interesting because you actually put full Genesis cartridges into it.
Wow.
Yeah. So like you don't put the little mini Game Gear carts. You can put your full Genesis carts in this thing.
Yeah, interesting to compare this to the Game Gear. I mean, this is their next handheld after that.
Right. Yeah, it lost a lot of that flavor.
Yeah. I hate this. I think it's just a box. I know there's a lot going on with the buttons and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't like the shape of the buttons. I think those are bad buttons.
If the Game & Watch
100%.
isn't just a box, this can't be just a box.
Why?
Because it looks like an early Polaroid camera. Like it's got that rounded thing on the one side where your one hand would be holding it and then taking the picture. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, dude, the Game & Watch is like so thin. It's got like the raised screen, the cool colors. This thing's just a fucking box.
Yeah, I'm good below Game & Watch. I think it goes below. Well,
is this just a box? Are we putting in just a box?
That's what I would do.
I don't think so. It's got too
What's
much
not
else
a box
going on.
about this?
It's all rounded and stuff, and it's got the cool little sweepy outs for your hand on the left on the D-pad.
Oh, I don't think that's cool at all. Like in this specific case.
Huh.
Because of the shape. The what was so good about the Game Gears,
It's not very boxy.
Totally is boxy. It's like a misshapen. It looks like a wet cardboard box because it's like one side's like slightly bigger than the other.
That's what makes it not box.
I just noticed something that gets so many demerits for this thing. I hate that like border around the screen that it's like it gets weirdly bigger at the bottom left. I hate that a lot. Like a lot. That's really bad.
Yeah,
that's
you're
what
right.
I'm saying. It looks like a wet box where it's like started to morph.
Ooh.
It's like a melting box.
I don't get box vibes, but it is bad.
I don't get box.
If it's not a box, it's
moved
trash.
it to straight trash. Because honestly, the Nomad logo is kind of Jaguar-esque.
Yeah, Jaguar.
Yeah, I definitely hate it less. It's the red of the Jaguar made that logo much worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is trash.
Is it below the links?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's right there. Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. Speaking of boxes, we have the Sega Saturn.
This is a fucking box.
This is a box.
This might be a strong contender for top of the box.
This might be more of a box than the TurboGrafx.
Yeah.
Look at how much of a box this is.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of can't believe how much of a box it is. Look how chunky. It's thick. Look at this thick box.
Yeah.
It's got little protector pads on the bottom corners in case it bumps up against all the other boxes.
It's terrible.
Yeah, that's a box. That's king of the box right there.
Is it more of a box?
TurboGrafx is 2 boxes, but this as a single box is more box than
This is more box by itself than either one of those separately.
You convinced me.
Okay.
The power of box combined can't
That's
even
right.
measure up against this
right.
box.
That's right.
Okay. We have the follow-up to the Game Boy now with the Game Boy Pocket.
In 96.
I like this less than the normal Game Boy.
This thing sucks, dude.
Yeah, I like this less. It looks cheaper, I think, because it was cheaper. It was smaller. Which I respect that it was smaller.
You sucked the life out of the original Game Boy.
Yeah, like
dude,
they took all the
this is-
fun colors away.
This is the, like, it's not just a phase mom version of the Game Boy.
Emo teen Game Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took all the fun colors away. Yeah, I don't like this one. This is a hard
I think
pass.
it's a hard pass.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's higher
below
on
Game
there,
and
but
Watch.
I think it's is it second?
Below either in front of or below Master System. I'm kind of agnostic.
I would put it below the Master System because the Master System has the weird, stupid factor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, we have the Nintendo 64.
In 96. So the Pikachu N64 isn't here. That would be rad as hell.
Of course.
The N64 is not just a box. There's too much else going on. It is very box-like.
I like
it's not
the
just
N64.
a box.
I think it's
I don't
fine.
mind it.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I guess. Yeah.
I'm in meh about it.
Yeah.
I'm also in meh
I think it's
about
better
it.
than the NES.
I do not. I do not think it's better than
Really?
the NES. Yeah. Again, some of it is
I
like
did-
the
yeah,
finish
I
on the
agree with Shay.
material where it looks a little bit cheap.
Sure.
I do not like the light gray where the controllers plug in. It looks
I like that
weird in
contrast.
comparison to the rest of it. The N64 logo is sick.
Yeah.
N64 logo, very good on that glossy black.
Uh-huh. I like
Which I
it's got a
like.
compartment, like there's a piece.
Compartments are fun
Yeah.
for the expansion pack.
Yep.
Maybe second then. It's
Yeah,
certainly
that's
better than the
below
Vectrex.
NES.
Yeah, that's
It's definitely better than the Vectrex. Yeah. Okay. I'm cool with it there.
We then have the refresh of the Super Nintendo, the Gen 2.
In 97. I hate this thing.
yeah.
I
This is-
despise
this-
this thing.
This is like whiny toddler SNES. Like this
no good.
thing's the
Such a
long
downgrade.
purple button is like the
Yeah.
snot coming out of his nose.
Yeah. It's that kid at the beginning of Wind Waker.
Yeah.
Totally.
This is hard pass, and I think it's below Game Boy Pocket, above Channel F for me.
Oh.
Well, above Game Boy Pocket.
Hmm.
Maybe.
Okay, so think of this. Think of this.
I
Think
really
of
don't- I
the
really don't like
downgrade from Game Boy to Game Boy Pocket, or is that worse than the downgrade from the SNES one to this?
Game Boy is worse. Definitely, in my opinion.
Game Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Game Boy is a worse.
Should Game Boy
downgrade.
Pocket be lower than it is?
I honestly kind of think so.
I think it should be
You guys,
below
you
the
guys
Channel
kind of
F.
liked the Channel F.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the Game Boy Pocket goes below the 3DO because that thing is like boring and lame.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The
I would-
Channel
I
F
think
is
I-
only in hard pass because of you, Shay. Because I think Cody and I would have had
Right.
it in meh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
So.
put the mini SNES below the Channel F also. I think
Okay.
that's a good order.
Okay.
Cool.
Up next, we have the TigerGame.com.
Hell yeah. 97. I don't like the way this looks. I don't like the colors.
Yeah, the color
I
scheme
think
is
really
horrendous.
bad.
The teal could have been cool when paired with other colors.
Yeah.
But the weird yellowy gray they have, your yellowy like silver, and then this strange bluish gray
Is that a,
they
is that a
have on the bottom.
stylus in the bottom?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Stylus could maybe get it some points.
No. Like
It does have touchscreen
styluses are
input.
for dorks.
It is a stylus for sure. It has touchscreen input.
That's at least
First game
interesting.
console to include touchscreen, and the first handheld to offer internet connectivity.
We're not worried about functionality, but knowing that it's a stylus deducts points in my opinion. Styluses are for dorks, man.
No, I think styluses are fine, but where they have it sucks. Like styluses should be seen, not heard, right? They're like kids in that way, and so
It doesn't make any sense. But I'm with you.
Yeah. And so the console equivalent, styluses can't talk. The console equivalent is styluses should not be seen. They need to be used, but they shouldn't even be seen. They should be tucked away somewhere. And this is just like loud and proud, bold. I don't like anything about this. I hate I was just about to say A, B, C, D. That sucks.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I think this is trash. It looks like this thing looks like I could snap it in half.
Yeah.
This thing looks like you should snap it.
This is worse than the Nomad.
Yeah.
Is it worse than the Jaguar?
No.
It's not worse than the Jaguar.
Okay. All right, and finally, to wrap up the life of the Genesis, we have the Sega Genesis Gen 3. Oh, boy.
1998. This thing...
Look how far we've
Straight
fallen.
trash. Straight trash. I want to put it below... This thing goes below the Commodore 64. Above that Gen 2 Lynx. Yeah. That Gen 2 Lynx is deeply offensive. This is also offensive because they took the awesome Genesis logo, the awesome Sega logo, and they did the 3 in the style of the Jaguar.
The 3
it just got worse with every iteration.
Yeah. Yep. They kept fucking it up. They had it. They had gold.
Oh boy. Well,
I'm not that offended by it, but I'm not going to argue with your passion.
Up next, we have the SNK Neo Geo Pocket. I like the carbon fiber look right off the bat.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I do like the carbon fiber.
Well. Carbon fiber's cool.
This feels box adjacent to me.
It's pretty boxy. It's close.
I do like the
I like
plate.
the divot for the analog. That looks like it probably feels pretty good.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm warming to this as we talk about it. Like,
Man,
at first glance, I was like, yeah, box.
SNK stuff, it just has like a high-end feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't hate this.
It's real tiny, though, man.
It is pretty small.
It doesn't look good. It doesn't look like it would feel good to hold.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, you and I have huge fat hands.
Well, with not huge hands, but fat hands. I guess it sounds better when you say huge fat hands.
Yeah.
Huge fat hands sounds much better than small fat hands, which is the actual.
I was trying to do us a favor. I think the carbon fiber really saves it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this meh or is this hard pass?
It's definitely not hard pass.
It's meh. I think it goes above the Gen 2 Genesis and below the Neo Geo.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That first Neo Geo was pretty all right.
Yeah.
That first Neo Geo might need to be higher.
I've really liked. I sort of,
I think it goes above the Vectrix.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think you guys are giving the Vectrix too much credit.
I think kind of just an ugly TV.
That's why I'm trying to.
Hideous.
It's an ugly TV. We should move the Vectrix down to hard pass.
I think so too.
I agree.
Below the
Game and Watch. I'm liking the Game and Watch the more that we look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is like it's cool,
it's
isn't it?
the ugly.
Move
the
Game
color
and Watch
scheme is
to bottom
ugly,
of meh. Game and Watch bottom of meh.
Okay.
We were too hard on the Game and Watch.
Okay. This is
too
feeling
nice
much
to the
better.
Vectrix.
Yes, this feels much better. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, this is good. Okay. Up next, keep in mind for this one, there are a variety of colors. It is the Nintendo Game Boy Color.
Move it right to the fucking top.
It is.
Put it at the top of this fucking list. I don't care what color it is.
They're all.
It's at the top.
Yes.
Congrats. Done and dusted. This list is fucking done. Nothing is going above the Game Boy Color. Look at this fucking thing.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's awesome.
It's great. It's great.
It's perfect.
Yeah. Yep.
We based our brand colors on the Game Boy Color colors.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Not the see-through versions, but the regular Game Boy Color versions.
Okay. Well, that was easy. Now to a much less.
What's your favorite color? Game Boy Color.
Green.
Solid green.
Yeah, they like the lime green. Yeah.
I like the yellow one. The Pikachu
I also
yellow.
like the yellow one. I think purple is probably my favorite.
Purple's great.
I was never as big of the translucent. I was never in on that in the 90s like a lot of people were.
Right.
I do
the green
like
one
that.
is my favorite
back,
because it's the one I had. I would say if I could have any, it would probably be a purple one now.
We also had the green one.
Yeah.
I always envied the yellow one. I don't think there is a bad Game Boy Color, but yellow would probably
100%.
have been my choice. But like I was saying with you, Shay, I wasn't super into the see-through stuff. I wish I had been. Because like looking back,
big regrets.
It's such an interesting thing that like no one else was doing.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Pretty rad.
Well, everybody was doing the see-through thing at the time. Like all the brands, all the tech brands were doing see-through.
I mean, after that period of time.
I got you.
Like they stopped doing it.
Yeah.
Up next, we have a markedly less interesting handheld with the SNK Neo Geo Pocket Color. So they copied the Nintendo route and went color.
Yeah. This was 99. This
I see what other colors.
I was going to say I don't know
if the same form factor.
Yeah,
but without the cool carbon fiber.
The carbon fiber,
so like it takes that high end.
Yeah.
Angle down, and I feel like that was the thing that was really.
But that does look like it has like I don't think it's metal, but that shine on it does make it look like it's like
it looks nice,
metallic in some way.
Yeah, it looks like it's made of nice plastic.
See, and they fucked this up big time because the other colors I'm seeing, like they did have a clear version, but the other colors I'm seeing are just like black and white and gray. They didn't even do like funky colors of the Neo Geo Pocket Color. Like, what are you doing?
Okay.
I think this one could go. Does it move it down a whole category?
I'm honestly, without the cool carbon fiber thing, I'm a little bit of a hard pass on it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I still think it
I think it maybe goes at the end of meh.
The analog stick is fun, and I think like this specifically this like steel blue color is okay. I think I would put it like below the Game & Watch.
But this analog stick looks worse.
Does it?
Yeah, it looks like a worse analog stick. Look at the Neo Geo Pocket one. The Neo Geo Pocket one just looks like a PSP thumbstick. This thumbstick looks like really uncomfortable.
It has like a hole in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Okay, put it at the top, a hard pass.
Yeah.
It's still not as bad as a stupid fucking TV.
All right. Up next we have
it's just a TV.
We have the Sega Dreamcast.
This was in 1999.
You know,
this is
only in looking at this and comparing it in this practice that we're doing have I noticed this. This is kind of just a squashed PS1.
Yeah, they took the sides off the PS1.
Yeah.
I think the shape of the like raising disc tray is way worse because it's not just like the circle.
Right.
I also think the like triangle thing on the top of it looks weird. The Dreamcast logo is horrible.
Yeah. Is it a box?
Again, if we were looking at the controller, the Dreamcast controller is awesome. But the console itself, no, I'm not a huge fan.
Is it a box?
Yeah, I don't.
I don't think it's a box.
Yeah, it's got too many other weird.
The
like
CD
it's
tray
rounded
things.
on a hump in the front. The CD tray thing's very distinctive.
This is fine. This is bad.
Yeah, it's meh,
yeah,
sure.
I don't feel strongly about it one way or another.
I feel like the
above Genesis.
I feel
Model
like
2.
the Game & Watch is better than the Genesis 2.
Yeah, you're right. And then this goes above Genesis 2?
I think this goes above Genesis 2.
Yeah.
I like how the Game & Watch is just kind of sliding.
Creeping up.
It's because it's so unique looking.
Yeah,
like
it is.
We've looked at 40 some at this point. We've got a lot more fucking to go. Holy shit. But like the Game & Watch is so singular in comparison to anything else.
Uh-huh.
It's you want to
silver is the most silver so far.
Yeah.
Also that, yeah. Up next, we have the second generation of the PlayStation. This is the PS1. Yes.
In 2000, I love this little guy.
I like this more than the normal.
Solid vibes. Solid vibes. I would say.
I think it's better than the first.
I like it more than. I like it more than the Game Gear.
Really?
Yeah, I like it more than the Game Gear.
I like the white color. It's just it's something about the rounded shape and like the big circular buttons. It gives me that like late 90s, early 2000s alien like this is the game console the Kaminoans played in Star Wars Episode 1.
Yeah.
Like this thing fits right in on Kamino. And that makes me like it less in a because it feels kind of sterile.
He doesn't like Kaminoans.
I'm super fucking racist against Kaminoans, and that's racist. It. Love every other race of alien in the entire Star Wars universe. But it feels sterile to me. Like it feels like
that's why I kind of like it.
In a hospital.
It draws your eye to the PlayStation logo more because of it, and that's such a fucking incredible logo. And
it is
like the little rounded font below it, PS1.
Mm-hmm. That's
I like it. It's classy.
Okay,
I like it a lot. If you don't like it as much, Shay, we could put it just above the original PlayStation, below the Game Gear.
Yeah, because I'm trying to compare it to the actual PlayStation, and even though like I'm saying negative things about it, I kind of still do like it more than the actual PS1.
Okay.
Like the PSX rather.
Do you like it more than the Game Gear?
I don't. I definitely don't.
Okay.
All
right. Well, we are moving generations now into the Sony PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 2000.
This is a box, guys. Come on.
No.
This is rad as hell.
This is how you make a fucking box, dude.
Yeah. This is what boxes wish they could be.
Yes. This is box
really
elevated.
I don't get good vibes from
man.
the PS2.
The font and color of the PS2 is awesome.
So good.
The buttons, the like open tray and power buttons on there are so
good.
cool.
And the tray, the way that
the
it like
disc tray
becomes uniform with those like slats.
Yep.
Yeah.
It just hides.
That's good shit.
And the way the eject button like angles out a little bit, so your thumb like kind of comes down onto it.
Yeah.
Woo!
And then you could even turn the logo if you had the console standing up or laying down. You could turn the little PlayStation logo.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Right as hell.
This rules.
All right.
It's not better than the Game Boy Color.
It's better than the Odyssey though.
It's better than the Odyssey. Is it better than the Game Boy? Probably not.
No. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I think third place for now is a good spot.
All right. Well, how about that old Microsoft Xbox, the console that literally has box in the title of it?
2001.
Ironically, I would not argue that this is a box.
Right.
Much of its
Me
form
neither.
factor is a box, but it has the giant X on it.
fucking X.
I would argue that this is straight trash.
Ooh.
This is straight. I hate
This
the
is
original Xbox.
amongst the ugliest
I hate the way
consoles
this
I've
looks.
ever seen.
No,
I
I'm not putting
despise
this
this.
as straight trash. This would go at the end of hard pass. This thing is fucking cool.
No, it's not.
Yes,
it's also
it is.
huge. It is
Please
fucking
tell me
massive.
why. Please tell me why.
I
This
like
is
the
cool.
big ass X on it, man. It's pretty cool.
You like the Jaguar logo also?
No, I don't.
I do like the Xbox logo. I hate the green color. Like
Why
the
does it
green
say
color
Xbox
is
on
ugly.
it twice?
Well, you got to know what it is.
On the front and the top. It depends on where you're looking at it from.
Oh,
All right, if this is going in straight trash, it's at the top.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
It is definitely better than the Lynx.
Okay.
If you're gonna
I just
argue for it, Cody, it could go bottom of hard pass.
No. That's
me.
fine. No, I'll save my arguments for later.
The color green is hideous.
It's a bad.
I
green.
do like the logo, like the font of Xbox. I like, but the giant X, it's so try hard and lame.
And it's like lack of originality. Like the name of the thing is what the thing literally is. It's a box with an X on it.
Like the weird kid that was super into ICP loves the Xbox.
Oh yeah,
like
dude.
Xbox is like the console of choice for juggalos at your local middle school.
Just chugging. What is it, Fanta that they're into? Fago. Yeah, chugging Fago.
All right. Up next, we have the Nintendo Game Boy Advance. For me, this is my Game Boy. This is my Game Boy.
2001. I like the original Game Boy Advance quite a bit as well.
I'm a big fan of this.
I like this more than the color, but I don't know that that's a...
Get the fuck out.
I'm going to win.
No. For me, this is solid vibes. Probably the top of solid vibes.
I think this is rad as hell. Okay, yeah, but I have to take my attachment out of this. Right. I have to take my attachment out of this and go on vibes.
I love the color. I love the gray buttons. I love the shape of it. I do like that
ergonomically, how it bends a little bit, like how you would be holding it. I think that's smart. I think that's great.
Yeah. This might be solid
I like
vibes.
This a lot.
It has a lot of good colors too.
I would be happy with this in Rad as Hell. Like, I would put this above like the 2600.
Yeah,
I like this a lot.
I do like the Game Boy Advance quite a bit.
I would have this lower, but
where would you put this, Kyle?
Probably top of solid vibes. Mm-hmm. No, bottom of Rad as Hell.
Below the Sega
you talked
CD.
me into it. Yeah. I just like bolting shit onto shit. Come on.
I know. I'm not as passionate about that as you.
I know. Yep, I know.
There are too many ways that can go wrong.
I think this should go there.
That feels like a good compromise.
Yeah. I won't fight you on that.
Oh boy, boys. Here we go.
Honestly, I like the Sega CD more than the Atari 2600, but so I feel like GBA would be above the 2600 actually.
Hey.
2600 is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, this is where it should be.
I think we might change our minds here in a little bit.
Yeah, that's okay.
As we start comparing these.
We got a banger here.
Yeah.
The Nintendo GameCube. So what's interesting here?
Before any listeners say that this is a box, it fucking isn't. It's a cube
with a handle.
I guess the boxes don't have handles, so I mean, I feel like that.
That is, I mean, that's not technically true.
That's false.
They don't have. I mean, they have indentions to hold them, but they typically don't have.
No, they can have a little plastic.
You can put a handle on a box
or whatever.
I guess that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, a lot of them have those.
That's true. Fair.
You know, I
buttons
bet the
on the
boxes
console.
Came in that handle.
The buttons on the console are excellent. I always love pressing the open button
with the little indentation. Oof.
And like, you know, we joke about the boxiness. This literally is just the shape of a box, but in like a good way. Like it's like an intentional box shape because it's a cube. I like that. I like the handle. I love the colors for sure.
Mm-hmm. What's the best one?
Silver.
Orange.
You're right. Orange.
Yeah,
you're right.
Spice orange. I'm conflicted. I think this should be the top of literally just a box because it is.
Yep.
But it is also rad as hell.
Yes.
It's like just a box parentheses complimentary.
Yes. Yes. So I do think it has to go there because we have the category, and I think having the just a box category trumps any other category.
I do not agree because many consoles that I would argue are just a box, you guys have said it's not a box because it's got this thing on it or this button or like it's slightly rounded. And I understand that the shape of this is a box, but we also mentioned a lot of things that elevate it above being just a box. The just, I think, is doing a lot of work here in that category.
Yeah.
Because it's not literally a box. If the category was literally a box, I would 100% agree with your argument. It's at the top of literally a box as a compliment, but it is not literally just a box. It's so much more.
You're totally right. You're totally right. This is above the PS2 and the original. I think this is the second.
I think this is the second also.
Yeah. Okay.
fuck yeah. God, I fucking love the GameCube.
Yeah, it's so good. Up next, we have the Nintendo Game Boy Advance SP.
2003.
We got folding.
Put this above the GameCube.
The
Game Boy Advance SP clears everything except the Game Boy Color.
I would put it above the Game Boy Color.
You would
put this at the top.
Now.
Hey, dude, I'll listen to that argument.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong,
dude.
Like the Game Boy Advance SP is peak.
Yes,
it has a whole button for the backlight.
Yeah,
which is fun.
Yeah,
I like the volume slider. It's a nice evolution of the dial.
It had a nice
not
click
a fan of the slider.
when you'd open and close it. There was a nice...
the clamshell click on the
clamshell is
classic.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
I don't like the volume slider because it feels imprecise. But that would be my only major criticism.
I like the power button and like the not the button. I like the power status lights on the side, like on that corner.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's on the corner of it, so you can see it from the side or the front.
First
so even when it's
handheld
closed,
with an internal battery? Question mark. First one,
like
maybe
rechargeable battery.
Rechargeable battery.
Probably the first rechargeable. Yeah, and that battery life was incredible. I know this is not the conversation,
right?
But,
okay. Well, congratulations.
And again, amazing colors. I honestly don't really care for the color in the picture that we have here.
I like
but
the
a lot of
metallic
really
red.
good
That's
colors.
fun. Mine was silver.
Wow.
It's the SP is the first one I bought with all my own money, smear quotes, which was like money I made through doing chores for allowance or whatever. But it's the first one I bought entirely for myself.
Nice.
I love it. Like the Game Boy Advance, such a good library. Holy shit.
So
anyone that listened to our Nintendo Switch 2 Direct live react and is like, these guys just fucking hate Nintendo. There's a bunch of haters.
No.
Come look at this list and see the top 4 options right now are all Nintendo consoles.
Yeah.
Okay. Looking, we got a fun one next. It is the Nokia N-Gage.
2003.
Is it it's also a phone? But like game console phone.
Yes.
It's a BlackBerry.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's just full of fucking buttons.
Yeah.
This thing is terrible.
This is straight trash.
Like, I don't think I don't know that anything will be worse than the Colortron, but this might be the second worst.
This is you know what? This is worse than the Gen 2 Lynx.
Yeah. Yep.
This fucking sucks.
Yeah, it does. Whew. All right. Up next, we have the second iteration of the PS2 with the Gen 2. It's the Slim.
I like the Slim, not as much as the Fat, but I do still like it.
Yes.
I think it is solid vibes.
Yes.
Maybe above the original PSX. Solid vibes.
Yes. Below the PS1.
Yeah.
Is that what you're
Because
saying?
I like the return to the flip up disc tray. As much as I like the slide out disc tray, good sound, good look, good feel. I like the callback in theory to the flip up.
I think it's less of a callback and more of a we made a slim version and so we can't have a disc tray in there because there's not room.
Yeah. Well, yeah, totally. But
okay.
Yeah, I'm good with it there.
Up next, we have the Nintendo DS.
I think the original DS is ugly.
Boring and ugly.
Yeah.
I like the DS. I think
has
this is
good
a kind of a
hinges.
shitty picture of the DS. I like it.
It's a bulkier, uglier SP.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
And there are far better DS models.
Yeah.
I'm following you. Yes, you are correct. There are better models, yes.
This is kind of meh to me.
Yeah.
The original one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it could be high on the meh list because like it's not ugly, but
maybe it goes like below the Neo Geo.
Yeah, that carbon fiber is doing a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Neo Geo,
below the Neo Geo.
Do you have Pocket?
You would put it
Neo
below
Geo
the Pocket?
Yeah, no, you're right. Just below the original Neo Geo.
Is the carbon fiber better than this?
Yes, I don't know why
it is better than the
Yeah, this is
32X
weird
is a
here,
move
right?
down. 32X goes below. Yep.
Okay.
You know what? 32X top of hard pass.
32X is just kind of nothing.
Yeah, it's kind of nothing.
It was like it was one layer too many. Like they flew too close to the sun.
Yeah.
All right. This is another console that I forgot even existed. It is the Nintendo Game Boy Micro.
This is terrible.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
the A and B buttons are stupid. The font on the A and B buttons are stupid. It looks cheap.
Yeah.
I don't like the Game Boy Micro. Hard pass from me.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like
it's
low
worse than the
hard
Pocket.
pass.
Is it?
Yeah,
I
it is
think
worse
it's
than the Game Boy
than
Pocket.
the Pocket.
Is it better
Right
than
there.
You think it's better
I think
than
it's worse
the
than the 3DO.
3DO?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's it right there.
Yeah. 'Cause I also don't like that it's been like squished in the middle.
We now have the Microsoft Xbox 360.
I like the
2005.
360. I like this. I was never a huge fan of the color. I don't like that like off-white where it's close to white color. But I like the shape of it. I like that it's like a rounded sort of, most people would have it standing up. For even, the red ring of death issues, the green ring, I think is a good look.
That's good.
Yes.
Green ring is good.
What an upgrade
I
from the
do
original
like-
Xbox.
Totally.
Yeah. Oh, big time. I do like, again, visually, aesthetically, I like bolting the hard drive onto the side. That was cool. I didn't like having to buy their proprietary hard drives, but
oh, see, and I was like, wait,
snapping the hard drive in.
Don't you mean bolting on the top? And like, because I would have it.
Oh, because you'd have a vertical.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. I also liked bolting that on.
I think it's low solid vibes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
like I would put it like above the Genesis.
Yeah.
No, below the Genesis. That first Genesis is really good.
Okay. Yeah. We like the circle on the Genesis.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the colors. The red.
Sony enters the handheld market with the PlayStation Portable.
2005. I like the PSP a lot.
I
also
all
like the PSP
It's
a
got
lot.
a lot on it, and I like that.
Yeah, it's all glossy black.
Mm-hmm. Big screen.
I mean, you could get different colors. It was all glossy. The buttons, the X, even the analog stick buttons, they were like a clear coat on top, and then like you would kind of like look through them to the color and the label. So like, that was cool.
And the shoulder buttons were clear.
Shoulder buttons were clear. Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah,
I like the yellow charge
for the power port.
Yeah,
that's a fun little pop of color.
You got the little the hook or the like loop in the bottom left to strap it on.
That was kind of a weird
keychain
functionality thing, but yeah,
that's a very Japanese thing. They do a lot of keychains. On the back, the silver circle,
so cool.
So good with the PSP logo in the middle of it. That silver circle on there,
and it's a good tie into like the Sony Walk, like the CD Walkman version. The way they would have that was kind of clear. Yeah, really cool nod.
Yep.
Is this rad as hell?
I think the PSP is rad as hell. I like it quite a lot.
I like it more than the Game Boy Advance. I like it more than the Game Boy Advance. I think
the original GBA. I do too.
The Odyssey is like
Cody.
so
I
on
know
its own.
I know the original GBA is like your thing.
Okay, I got to go for vibes though. The vibes are better with the PSP than the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
So
I respect you. Thank you.
Okay. This next one I've been waiting to talk about. This is from a cartoon. I'm sorry. This Tiger Gizmondo. This is just a fake. This is my plant actually that you mentioned at the top. This is the one that I made up and put in here. This is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was in My Life as a Teenage Robot.
Totally. This looks fake and from like a prototype made from a cartoon.
Look at those plunger shoulder buttons.
Yeah, it like the shoulder buttons feel like steampunk kind of.
Yeah.
Like it looks like an exhaust pipe.
Also, the face buttons are fast forward, rewind, stop, and play.
Yeah. And the little D-pad thing, it has that just gross. I think the Ouya was similar in the D-pad where it was like just a concave or convex, whichever one it is, with just like the kind of yeah, it's very, very bad.
This thing is
This
just
is also
fake.
2005.
But I kind of like the vibes. I like the vibes of it, but it's so fake. I don't like. It's funny. It's just funny to me.
Are those silver things on the top also buttons?
Maybe they're lights.
Oh, they could be lights. I don't know enough about this thing, so like I'm just looking at it.
Yeah,
and it looks like Stewie Griffin's head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like it's got kind of almost. It's almost like Hey
pass.
Arnold head.
It's too funny to be straight trash.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
It's not upsetting, but it is so. It is a hard pass.
Yes. For sure.
Perhaps
Does it go below the Channel F?
Yes, for sure. It goes
Is it worse
below
than that?
this. Ooh, see, because like the SNES 2 has that angle of like makes me sad because of how much worse it is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think the Gizmondo doesn't have that baggage.
Right.
Also, what a good name.
Gizmondo.
Gizmondo
terrible.
also sounds fake.
I think the Jaguar CD needs to move up. Like the Game Boy Pocket, the 3DO, the Game Boy Micro, all of those are horrendously bad looking consoles.
Remember the logo being on there twice?
Oh, fuck. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Lest we forget.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh boy.
Like
Man,
I would not want.
looking at that, like the Gizmondo's way too high, though.
It does feel too high, right?
This might. Well, no, it's not. It's not uglier than like the N-Gage or the Colortron, but that's probably it in terms of ugliness.
Yeah.
It's the third ugliest console we've seen so far.
Yeah.
I think this has to go in straight trash. I agree with you. It's funny
though,
but it's still trash.
It's better than 2 times Jaguar logo. It just is.
And
Okay.
I think Jaguar
2
CD
times
should be
Jaguar
in straight.
logo.
Jaguar CD should be in straight trash. I argued that to begin with. You guys didn't want to put it in there.
Well, just because it's better than the Jaguar, even despite the 2X Jaguar logo, it still looks better than the Jaguar.
Well, then maybe
Yeah.
it can just be.
Is
higher
it better
in straight
than
trash.
it's the Jaguar CD? Yeah, maybe it goes below the Xbox.
Yeah, I was just about to say, does the Jaguar CD really look better than the original Xbox?
No.
No.
And then the Gizmondo, like above or below the Intellivision, there on the end, or is it like?
Yeah, this is it. It's hard pass, but like if it's the last thing available, it's pretty funny. You know what I
It's
mean?
got some goof factor to it.
Yeah.
All right.
I want one of these. How much are those?
The Nintendo DS Lite.
This was in 06.
2006. I like
the
this
DS
a lot.
Lite. I like the whatever concave look where like the edges are kind of raised on where the screen goes.
Uh-huh.
It's like it's got a nice clean look.
Yes. Definitely better than the original.
The original
for sure.
DS. Yeah. I think this is solid. This is
I
solid
think
vibes.
it's solid vibes. I think this is right below the 360.
I think I like it more than the 360.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay.
Maybe that might be a good spot for it.
Yeah. I don't know. I do really like the DS Lite.
I'm feeling like the original.
The
PlayStation's
top
too
of it
high.
when it's closed is like super glossy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Which is
DS
fun.
Lite. The DS Lite is better than the original PlayStation. I think it's better than the Slim also.
I think so too.
I think
It's
the
not better
original
than the
PlayStation.
PS1.
I think the PlayStation X should go below the Genesis. Because I like it better than the 360.
But then Pong is too high.
I
don't think so. It's in like the middle of solid vibes. That's a good spot for it. Look how fucking stupid the Pong looks. It's awesome.
Okay, what about the Gizmondo?
Yeah, dude, the Gizmondo looks stupid and it's ugly. The Pong looks stupid and it's cool. You just don't get it.
I don't. You're right. I don't.
If you want to put the Genesis above the Pong, that's fine. I know you really like the Genesis.
Please, God, do that.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a dick. I'm trying to be nice and compromise.
Okay, moving this thing along.
I feel good about where the DS Lite is.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
The Nintendo Wii. I love the vibes of the Wii. I love
it was also
Wii
2006. Wii has fantastic vibes, super glossy. The blue light in the disc tray,
excellent.
The stand that like puts it at a funky fun angle,
a little angle.
Dude,
it had the flap
Wii
on the top
rocks.
for the GameCube controllers. It had the flap on the front for the SD cards and stuff.
It's got flaps. It's got lights. It's got gloss. It's got stand.
The vibes are great.
You could get it in that like really slick Nintendo Red, the Mario one.
I think the
Mario
vibes
edition.
of the Wii are better than the Game Boy.
No.
Original Game Boy. The vibes alone, I think, are better. If not, it's certainly the vibes are better than the PS2. Wii is the vibe console. There's a lot of mechanical and functional things I like about the PS2, but vibes and how it makes me feel, coolest.
Well, remember, it's coolest looking.
Vibes are part of that, but it's not purely
vibes are part
vibes.
of it. Yeah. Nintendo Wii would be better than those on vibes alone.
I agree with everything Kyle was saying about the glossiness and the blue, the canted angle with the stand. Like, I agree with all of that. But it's borderline just a box.
Yeah, you're right. It is.
You're right.
Like
Without that stand, it's just a box.
I would put it at the top of solid vibes. To me, it's not quite rad.
The Wii is rad.
Wii is rad.
Yeah.
I think it's.
I would put it above the Sega CD, certainly. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that I put it above the PSP.
Maybe it goes between the PSP and the Game Boy Advance.
Okay, I'll take that.
That feels good.
Yeah. Oh boy. Moving on to the PlayStation 3 original, the fat ass boy.
Also 2006.
This is the hardest one to separate my nostalgia from.
I know.
Because
I think it is super ugly.
This is extremely
ugly.
Cool. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
I love the gloss. I love the font. It's got that Spider-Man 2 Sam Raimi look to the font.
I like the silver, the little cutaway for the disc, but the haptic feedback buttons were always a bad idea. They continue to be a bad idea. I guess they look cool. But, like, I know how they function and how they feel, and I know it's bad, so it makes me not like how it looks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And, like, maybe the heaviest console ever.
It's so
this thing is a chonker.
Yeah.
It's not straight trash, but I think it probably goes in hard pass. Like, I would put it at the top of hard pass.
Yeah. It's better than the stupid...
Yeah, it's better than 32X. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. We move on to the DSi. Doesn't look much different than the Lite. It has a camera, which is pretty cool. But otherwise, it functionally and aesthetically is very similar.
They changed the speakers, the speaker holes, to just be like little tiny things, and that is worse.
But yeah, otherwise it's.
They removed the Game Boy Advanced port in the bottom.
Which
but that's mostly functionality.
Like, well, I don't. It's a visual. It's a visual. So like, does it look better, cleaner, or does it look better with a port in the bottom?
I think it looks better with the port in the bottom because they got rid of the volume slider on the bottom too. Like I don't think it's different enough that it needs to be in a super different spot. But like I'd put it below the DS Lite.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we go bigger with it. How does bigger make us feel?
I like the speakers better. They made the speakers better
than the DSi. Yeah.
I did always prefer the big, not even just for like, playability. I just think the bigger DSs looked cooler. Than the smaller ones generally.
Okay. Yeah. So I think
that's
it
fine.
goes below. It's below the DS Lite.
Oh, okay.
The DS Lite is like the perfect DS.
That's how I feel about it. Cody, you seem to like the XL more than the DS.
I don't have stronger feelings for the DSi XL. I would champion like a new 3DS or a 3DS XL more over that.
Okay,
we'll get
there.
Yeah, of the DS models, I think the Lite is my favorite.
Best. Yeah, I would agree with that. All right, we have the refresh of the PlayStation 3 with the Gen 2. This is an
Also
upgrade for the
2009.
PS3 in my opinion.
This is it's a big upgrade.
No,
dude. This looks way better.
No, this is just a box.
No.
I know that it's round, but this is just a box. Look at it. It's just a black box.
No.
It looks so much better than the original PS3 though.
I totally disagree. This loses all personality from the PS3. Like, we hate the weight and the thickness of the PS3, but we liked the gloss, we liked the font work, we liked the larger indentation where the discs go, the silver. This loses literally everything we liked about the PS3.
Yeah,
and it's only slightly smaller.
The spirit of the just a box is both shape and also lack
design.
of detail. Yeah, like lack of detail, lack of design, lack of interesting things about it. This doesn't really have anything that's interesting.
Yeah,
so
and
I
again,
think from that perspective,
the word
right.
just does a lot of work here. Because
It does.
this is
It
not
does.
literally a box, but it is literally just a box. It's the opposite of the GameCube.
I would say it's more of a box than the Atari 5200, but below the TurboGrafx.
I agree with that.
Okay.
Because the Atari 5200's got that cool silver bar across it, at least. It does still look like an answering machine, but it's got the cool silver bar. This one, yeah, the PS3, it's like silver where you put the disc in on that little plate there.
It's not enough.
It's not enough. You're right.
They even got rid of the color on the PlayStation logo. Get out of here.
That is...
Yeah, that's true. That's a cardinal sin. You're right.
Okay. Up next, we have the refresh of the PSP. Not really a refresh, different model.
Yeah.
The
Digital
PSP Go. It is really
2009.
fucking ugly.
I hate this thing.
They were trying to do the like early 2000s with the sidekick and the like sliding cell
Right.
phone thing. It just looks ugly.
Yeah.
Yep.
It still has the
it's
weird
no good.
nub analog stick. The
It's
actual
it's a hard pass.
Yeah.
the triangle, circle, X, square buttons are so like weirdly spread out.
Yeah. And like look where the joystick is. That sucks.
Look, if you're asking me, I like the Gizmondo more than the PSP Go.
Me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Intellivision goes on the end.
Okay. Sure.
All right.
Yep. Let's see. So now we have the refresh of the 360 with the Xbox 360S Gen 2. I
2010.
love this Xbox 360.
This is rad as hell.
Yes, this is rad as hell.
Yep.
This Xbox
This
is
is
fucking
the
awesome.
best Xbox.
This is like
the best
this is the
Xbox
one
they've
I
ever
bought.
made.
This
Yes.
is a legit upgrade. This
Yes.
is the cool older brother
Yes.
for the 360. Kyle,
Yeah,
you would
when
know
I
all about that.
Okay. When I rebought a 360 somewhat recently, I couldn't find a cheap S like the glossy, so I ended up getting the matte one, the matte black one. It's just not. It's not the same. It's just not the same. The
This
glossy
looks
black is
futuristic.
where it's at.
Yes.
Yes.
This thing is fucking awesome.
It is rad as hell.
I think it goes below the PS2.
Right there.
Yeah, above the Odyssey. Yep, I'm good with that.
Okay, this next one's a weird one. This is the OnLive Cloud. I believe it's just that little device by the controller, and then it comes
Yeah.
with the controller, obviously. So I
2010.
guess we're really only judging the the box it comes with.
How does this work? What is this?
On
Like, is it
live
streaming?
cloud.
I believe so.
Games?
Yes.
But like, you just need the on live box
Correct.
for what? Like, why couldn't they have just
That is your
built it into the
interface
controller?
between the games and the controller.
It was a cloud gaming service offering. Yeah, so it was literally just like a Chromecast kind of thing.
Feels like this is in the spirit of just a box.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's like there's hardly even any hardware in there.
Yeah. Maybe it's like the least just a box.
The least just a box.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Yep.
All right. Moving to the 3D world with the Nintendo 3DS. I love the look of the 3DS. I really like the 3DS.
I like the look quite a bit of the 3DS. I don't love it. I do love the telescoping stylus. Huge upgrade.
Yeah.
I think the analog stick looks cool.
Terrible.
Functionally is a bummer.
But remember, looking console here.
Yeah. I do like that you could bolt on that extra analog stick attachment. I
3D
like bolting
Pad
stuff
Pro
onto
or whatever.
stuff. Yeah, the 3D Pad Pro.
I like the look of the 3DS more than the DS of
No.
the DS.
Yeah, I definitely
No.
do not. I do not like the analog stick. I like the simplicity of the DS, like the DS Lite, much more. Like, I like this better than the base DS, if that's what you're saying.
Yeah. No.
For me, this is below Genesis. Gen 1 Genesis.
This is above the PS2 Gen 2 for me. If I'm not going to get it above the DS Lite and I line, it's just under them.
That's fine with me. I'm not as passionate about the PS2 Slim.
That's fair.
Okay. Now we got this monstrosity. The Sony...
Actually, you know what? No, this goes above the DSi.
Okay.
I think that first iteration,
Okay.
the DSi, with like the
right.
shitty speakers and the dumb stuff. Yeah. Yep.
We have the Sony PlayStation 3 Gen 3. This thing is terrible. I've always
I hate this.
hated this
Yeah.
console.
It's like the shades like the desk that grandma used to have, the rolling top desk.
Yep.
It's like that.
With like
on
the
top.
shutter kind of thing.
Yeah.
the,
I
like,
always felt like
That's
you're
what
going
it
to
reminds me
break
of.
that thing when you would open
Yeah,
and
from
shut it.
sliding it over.
Yes.
Ugh.
When my PS3
Cheap plastic.
finally died for like the third time and I mailed it in for them to fix it, they said they could not fix it and they gave me this instead. And it even as
sucks.
we didn't like the OG PS3, getting this in return was so much worse.
Also, I forgot to mention 3DS was 2011 and this is 2012.
Okay.
Like the Gen 2 of the PS3 is just a box. This
It's trash.
I don't like.
This is trash. It's cheap feeling, cheap looking.
The way that it
I do
opens
not like
on the
this.
top
Yeah,
is
so bad.
terrible.
I dislike this more than the original Xbox, not as much as that Jaguar CD.
Yep.
That's fine.
Okay. We have the 3DS XL. Again, I just think it's a bigger 3DS. I think this just goes right above the 3DS.
I think this is
Like
definitely below the 3DS.
It is below the
I
3DS.
I don't
because
like
it
it
lost
bigger.
some of the gloss.
Wow. Okay.
Like the inside's all matte, whereas the original 3DS, the top, it was like a little more glossy on the
Yeah,
inside.
Yep.
And they
that's
lost
fair.
that.
It makes it
That's
look
fair.
cheaper.
I
Yeah.
actually agree with that. Yeah. Does it go below?
It's also
the
got
DSi?
those three weird buttons below the touchpad.
Oh yeah, I don't even remember those.
So those are present on the original 3DS, but they're like labels, so you know what you're hitting. And I mean, I guess they are there too, but it's just words and there's no icons. It's not as fun.
Does it go below the DSi or is it just right below the 3DS?
I think where you've got it is good.
Yeah, just below the 3DS.
The Wii U.
I like the Wii U.
It's a box.
No.
Like we,
So
we,
here-
we
no,
put,
no, no, no.
We put the Wii in rad as hell because of all the accoutrements on top of it being a box.
Okay,
This
yeah, you know what?
is a
No,
box.
you're right. You're right.
Because we're not looking at the controller.
We're not talking about the controller.
But the controller is part of the console here, right?
No, I don't think we can't make that distinction. Because I
think we just have to look at the box.
A lot of the Dreamcast stuff is so integral to actually playing the games on Dreamcast.
Fair.
We didn't include that.
Fair.
So I'm looking at my Wii U right now. Yeah, I don't love it.
It's just a box. I think it's a good looking box. Again, the glossiness, you can tell that it's like a quality made product, but I think it's just
maybe
a box.
Below the 3DO in just a box, because it's very rounded. The sides are very rounded.
I think it's more of a box than the 3DO or the Neo Geo CD.
Huh. Yeah, maybe above the 3DO.
Okay.
Because again, we're not like ranking literally just a box in terms of what we like. It's we're ranking it in terms of
how much of a box is it?
How much of a box is it?
Yeah.
So here's one where again I did know this exists, no less that this released within the last 20 years.
Wow,
but
that's crazy.
2012. The SNK Neo Geo X.
2012, huh?
It has the sliding analog stick that we all hate.
Yeah.
It's
got the clear buttons.
The fancy serif font Neo Geo X.
It's good. The black and gold is good. The clear buttons are good. I don't mind this.
It's like meh at best.
It is meh.
Yeah.
But I think it's above original DS. I still think it's below the original Neo Geo, though.
I think that's a good spot for it, in between the Neo Geo and the DS.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay.
We have the Sony PS Vita.
Also in 2012. I do not like the look of this as much as the original PSP. It is an oval.
I agree.
I do like on the back the touchpad. Very subtle, high glossy touchpad. It's got all the X, square, circle, triangle stuff, the pattern on the back that looks sort of like a carbon fiber pattern, but it's the PlayStation buttons. That's really solid. I don't mind the PS Vita font logo stuff.
I think it's
Two
solid.
sticks on a handheld is big. I like the symmetry.
This is solid vibes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's particularly exciting.
Right.
I think it's around like the Genesis
below the
Pong.
original. Yeah, I was going to put it below the original 360. Man, maybe above the original 360. Above the original PlayStation.
Okay.
Definitely above the 360.
It's nice and glossy.
Okay, yeah, above the okay, above.
It's still
the
got the clear
PlayStation.
triggers. Nice and glossy.
Okay.
Two sticks, big screen.
It is funny how much lower it is when it, at the end of the day, looks pretty similar to the PSP, but it's like the PSP's got that X.
Yeah, but like the back side of it is huge for the PSP.
Yeah,
that silver ring, massive.
So apparently just like third generation of consoles just don't do very well because this is the
You know what I'm going to fucking say about this one.
Xbox 360 E.
2013. Hey, I think it's just a box.
It's just a
might
fucking
be
box.
More of a box than the Sega Saturn?
No.
There's no...
No.
The chunkiness of the Sega Saturn.
Okay,
it's
you're right.
It's below the TurboGrafx because remember again, TurboGrafx 16 is two boxes.
Yep.
And in contrast to the Saturn, the sum of the two less boxy TurboGrafx boxes are more boxy than the boxy of the Xbox 360e, whereas the Saturn boxiness supplants the double, slightly less boxy TurboGrafx.
What do you guys think about the gloss matte combo?
Bad.
Oh,
I don't like it.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
I wouldn't choose it.
It's better. Like it. It's better than if it were all glossy or all matte. However, I think that matte section could have like been a different color or been something more interesting than just matte.
I don't know. I feel like if it was a different color, it would look worse.
Maybe.
It would look like a cobbled together box.
Up next, we have the Nintendo Wii Mini. I forgot this even existed.
Yeah, 2013. I could buy one of these for $60 right now on eBay. I was tempted. So it only comes in that red, I believe, which is a great red.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the red part is glossy. The black part is matte.
I like the matte. I like this.
I do too.
I
like the
kind
big
of
logo.
like how it looks. I kind of like how it looks. I think it's solid vibes.
Yeah.
But where to put you?
Does it go right? Does it go above the DSi?
I think we're throwing too much shade on the DSi. It's not that different from the other DS versions.
I think it goes above the 3DS.
I could be down with that.
Okay.
Yeah. I like the look of this. Cool.
We didn't talk about it, but it's sort of just a box.
It's kind of just a box.
The trimming around it elevates it.
Yeah. Yeah. The Nintendo 2DS.
Straight trash.
It's trash.
Absolutely straight trash.
I hate this thing.
This is a child's
I own
toy.
this. I hate this.
You can buy this at like the toddler section of Toys R Us. This is the cheapest looking piece of shit.
It's really bad. It's really, really bad.
Is it?
Wait.
Is it below the game.com? I don't think it's below the game.com.
I think it's there.
Below the Nomad. Because the Nomad has the fun factor of it looking like a Polaroid camera.
Dude, the canted angle of the screen and the thing around it on the Nomad is so bad.
Yeah,
though.
you're right.
I think it maybe goes above the Nomad. It's worse than the Lynx, though.
Yeah.
All right. We have the failure of a console in the Ouya, Inc. Ouya.
2013.
Boy, man.
Look at that
the
fucking
buttons were
controller, dude.
OUYA. Oh my god.
Yes. Yeah. Man.
It's not a box, but it kind of gives box energy.
I was just going to
it
say,
is.
it's got a little
It's
bit
not,
of just
but it
a
is.
box to it.
It's not, but it is. I think it's below on Live Cloud, or maybe above.
I think
No,
it's slightly
they
above.
perform
It's more
similar
of a
functions.
box. It's more of a box
Yeah.
than on Live Cloud is.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
It looks like a Bluetooth speaker.
Totally. Yeah. Next, we go to the PlayStation 4. Speaking about
2013.
that gloss and matte.
Yeah. Do you don't like you don't like it on the PS4 either, Kyle?
You know, I do like it on the PS4.
Fanboy.
Maybe because
Console Wars.
Maybe because it's angular, and so because the Xbox was rounded,
Yeah.
and so having that harsh line on a console that's otherwise rounded looks strange to me. But here it's all harsh lines and angles, so it kind of makes it make more sense. I guess
Is this an angular box?
it is.
But it isn't just a box. No way. This is not just a box. This is awesome.
Oh,
I wish it had. I wish it had the colored logo.
This is not a fucking box. It's a rhombus.
Yeah, but a rhombus is just like a collapsing box.
I'm sorry. A rhombus is just...
That 5200 is basically the same form function as this thing.
A rhombus is a canted angle cube. And my memory serves that the GameCube is in rad as hell. So, I'm just saying it ain't just a box.
Yeah, but the
I
GameCube
like the
has a
PlayStation
handle.
4 a lot.
The GameCube has a handle. Oh, I do too, but it's a box.
I'm not at all saying this belongs in rad as hell, but I do really like the PS4. I think the gloss and matte finish looks gorgeous on here. I like it fine on the 360e. I think it's much better on the PlayStation 4, and I think Kyle's right. A lot of it's because of the angles. And there's a separated like line in between, like a divot in between.
I do like that.
And that line,
I like that.
That's an LED, if I remember correctly, right?
I think you're right. Yes, you are. Yep. I like that the disc goes in between the pieces. It's like some Star Trek, like, what's the board?
It's a cool console.
Yeah,
but
it's like a board
I just think
ship,
it's a box.
No, it's not. Absolutely not. Again, it's not just like just. This is not just a box. It's elegant. Boxes are not elegant.
Okay, sure.
Okay, where would you put it, Shay?
Solid vibes.
I think
like
it's high
this.
Solid vibes. I like the PS4
I would
a
put
lot.
this at the top of solid vibes.
Yeah.
I might actually put this in rad as hell. I know I said I wouldn't, but I might. I would put this in rad as hell. I would put this above the Game Boy Advance.
I would put this below the PS1 in solid vibes.
What would you do, Cody? You'd put this at the top of solid vibes?
I like the PS4 quite a bit. I would be okay with it at the top. I have no affinity for the Game Gear, so I mean, it would go above that.
I think the top of solid vibes feels like the best compromise, because I would definitely put this in rad as hell, like low rad as hell. But I would.
Okay.
Okay.
Kyle really likes the PS1, man.
I do. It's cute and fun. It's great.
The NVIDIA Shield Portable. Also a tough one because it basically is the controller.
Yeah, it's all kind of one thing.
But the fact that it is all one thing, I think, makes
Yes.
it different than it being a controller.
Yeah.
It's the controller plus the screen.
It's kind of just
we,
a hard.
Do we get to also talk about the controller and the looks then, not just
Yeah.
the
I think
screen?
so.
We get to talk about all.
Yeah,
of them?
we can't just talk about the screen.
Okay, then this is straight trash.
Yeah, I was gonna go hard pass. I don't know that it's trash.
Okay,
It's hard pass at best.
Hard pass.
There's too much angularity happening here.
Yep.
Like it feels like it's over designed.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a good word. Yep.
And the little green, like it looks like a little mouth.
Yeah, I don't know what you put
that's
in
weird.
there. You know, that could be, if there's like any hardware stuff going on inside the controller, that could be like an exhaust thing or something. Which would be bad to blow that at you. But I don't know
up
what
next,
that is.
You would put it that low on hard pass? I don't know that it's that bad, is it?
I
Yeah.
guess it's kind of bad. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's not bad in a fun way like the Gizmondo.
Yeah. Right.
It could
Okay.
go above the PSP Go if you think it's too low, but
No,
I'm
I
fine
think the
either way.
PSP Go is less bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Xbox One. Okay.
2014.
This is a fucking box, but I could say that this is elegant. And it shouldn't be in there. You see what I mean?
No, I don't. I do like the Xbox One design, but it's a fucking box.
Oh my god.
I
The
don't think
PlayStation
this
4
one
is
has
not
anything.
a box.
I don't
It's-
think
it-
this
it's
has
got a
anything that
completely
elevates it
different
above being a
shape.
box.
I'm going to go turn one of my Amazon boxes and color it black and say, look at my PS4. This is no longer a box because I made it angular. All right. we
I
can
do
put this
like
in.
the Xbox One, though. All of that to say, I do like the look of it.
It is a
'Cause
little
I-
boxier than the 360e.
You said it jokingly, Cody, but this does look like an elegant box.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, it looks premium. It's the combination of finishes that they use. It's the silver disc slide in, the Xbox button. I like that. This Xbox logo is much better than the original Xbox logo.
I think the PS4 should be in the box.
It's-
category.
You're crazy, dude.
It's a box.
No, it fucking isn't. Look at the PS4. Go ahead and put the PS4 in this category and look at it compared to all the other ones on here. The thing that I will say is I don't know that the Ouya belongs in just a box. Look how much better the PS4 looks than any of these other ones. It's got so
Hey,
much
it can
more
look
going
good,
on.
but it's still a box.
I've explained this so many times. The category is not literally a box. It's literally just a box. And the PS4 is not just a box. It is not just a box, neither in shape nor in design. Everything in literally just a box is literally a box, or it is just a box, meaning there's nothing else other than it plays the game. The PlayStation 4 doesn't fit either of those categories. The Xbox One, I think, is a very good-looking box.
The thing that's weird about the Ouya and the OnLive is I'm extending the definition of box to also be like, hey, there's like not a lot of hardware in this thing. It's kind of like just a box that's connecting to the internet.
Exactly right. Those are the two examples of just a box. Everything else in that category is literally a box.
Just a box.
Yeah, the Ouya and
the OnLive are just a box.
Everything else is literally
a box.
Yeah, there you go.
It's about where you put the emphasis.
The Xbox One is literally just a box, but it's a really good box.
It is good at that.
Okay.
I would put the Xbox One is less of a box than the 360e. It's less of a box than the PS3. It's less of a box than the 5200. I think it goes above the Wii U.
I do not understand. Fundamentally do not understand this category.
That specific category is you're measuring how much of just a box it is.
This is literally the most perfect rectangular box of a console.
You're only focused on the shape of the thing, man. You got to think outside of the box.
Oh, man.
I'm losing it. We're fucking losing it. We're moving on. We got the Sony PlayStation TV. Is this a box?
Kyle, are you with me? Do you understand where my mind is with the literally just a box?
I think our problem is we've attached like multiple meanings to it,
yes.
So that makes ranking them within that category much harder.
I think you're right, but I think that it's more fun that way.
Okay. Is this a fucking box?
The PlayStation TV is a fucking box.
Okay,
right?
But
it's just a box.
It's not just a box. It is just a box.
It's just a box.
So
it goes
actually no, because you can put actual cartridges in it and play Vita games on it. It's not like just connected to the internet or whatever.
Yes, it belongs above the Ouya.
Okay.
Because it's more of a literal box than the Ouya or the OnLive.
We got the Nintendo New 3DS. I like the look of those colored buttons a whole lot.
Huge fan of the color buttons.
I don't
still not a fan of the like shallow analog.
What version is that?
I think this was just the default. I think the non-colored version was this.
Huh.
Because I did like all the other colors too. Because they had like a kind of a bright yellow, right?
Yeah. And I think this came out at the exact same time as the new 3DS XL, which you probably got an XL.
Yeah, I have the new 3DS XL, not the new 3DS. I like the new 3DS quite a lot because of those buttons. That's actually huge.
Yep.
And it's a single home button on the bottom instead of the three is
like
better.
It more than the light?
I don't like that the top screen and bottom screen are not the same size. I never liked it on the 3DS. I understand functionality-wise, but I do not like it.
I think it's above the Wii Mini.
Okay. I like that. All right. Guys, this is probably my favorite handheld to play a game on, period. The new 3DS XL.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Both the new 3DSs were 2015, PlayStation TV 2014.
This is, if I'm going to play a DS game, it is on this console because the screen is incredible. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter here. We're talking about looks.
It is a big screen, though.
It's a nice big screen. It's a nice size. I have the Zelda version of this, and it looks fucking rad. It's a very specific example, but I think this is a pretty cool looking console. I think this is. I do like on the specific images we have. I like the colored buttons of that new 3DS. And that probably puts it above this specific image.
I like that the letters are still colored on the new 3DS XL, but it's not as good as the full button colors.
Yes, for sure.
I will say though, I don't think we should put too much weight on one specific color variant compared to all the color variants, because it's kind of an unfair comparison in a lot of console cases. So while I'm with you, I really love the colored buttons on the 3DS, but if we like the other look aspects of the XL more, like the bigger screen,
well,
I think
and
that
the colored letters are on all colors of the console in the 3DS XL. Because even my Zelda one has the colored letters.
Yeah, I would put the XL above the standard new 3DS.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, we got another streaming box here, a la the on live cloud with the NVIDIA Shield TV. Just looks like a fucking router.
2015.
It's just a router.
Yeah, it looks like a router.
Yeah. So this goes probably the bottom of literally just a box, because it's the least box-like of those box onlys.
I think you're right.
Great. Still in streaming world with the Valve Steam Link.
Also 2015.
Certainly just a box. I think less of a box than the PlayStation TV.
Yeah. Yep.
Perfect. Easy. We then have a refresh of the Xbox One with the Xbox One S, the second gen.
This is beautiful.
2016.
I love the white color.
Yeah.
I love that like the top is larger than the bottom of it, and so it sits different. This is a beautiful console. This is like
this. Does this take it out of just a box territory?
100%. 100%. Based on color alone. And it's got that mix of the glossy
mixed
versus
textures.
matte with the two different textures.
Textures makes a big difference.
The reverse coloring of the Xbox logo is also fantastic.
Very good.
Again, I don't want to get into the weeds here, but does the normal Xbox One not have the different texturing?
It does, but this I like more because it's got the like literal texture on the bottom part of it. It's the like
I see.
I don't know what the right word is. Where it's like holes. It's got holes in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure. No, I like the look of this. I do.
The one like got holes in it.
The one with the holes. Add a new tier.
Literally,
and only this
holes.
goes there. It's the one with the holes. I would put this at minimum above the PS4 and solid vibes.
Whoa.
I think this is a beautiful console.
You know what? I think I'm with you.
I kind of
this thing looks really good.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to have this argument, but the Sony PlayStation 4 Gen 2. I'm
going to blow your mind, Cody. This is a box. This is just a box.
Okay.
I hate you. I hate you so much right now.
But you know I'm right.
Because you're right. Because you're right. I hate you.
Okay, sure.
I feel like this is the encapsulation of everything I try to say about this category, about that tier. So Cody, if you don't get it based on this, you are truly lost. Because like the PS4, it has the mix of finishes on it. It has the cool logo. This is like a stripped away. What I don't remember what it was. It was maybe the 360e or something. Where like it's stripping away everything that felt cool about the console. No, it was the PS3, the second version, the second generation PS3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get
it
that.
stripped away all of the design from the console, and all that's left is just a box.
You add some gloss to this console, and it gets out of just a box.
And some hard angles to justify the finish change.
Okay. Yeah, because they even rounded the angles. Yeah, it's just ugly. Yeah.
So, by that logic, this is even more of a box with the PlayStation 4 Pro.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so PS4 Pro, also 2016.
And it's even more of a box than the PS4.
It has another box. It's a third box stacked on top.
Oh, well, hold on. Now do we have three boxes here?
But wait. We have to go back to the Gen 2 because I think the Gen 2 is less of a box than the Gen 2 PS3.
Oh, really?
I disagree. The Gen 2 PS3 is rounded.
Yeah, it has too much round.
Like it's a humpback. It's a humpback.
Okay. I don't want to get in an argument about that.
But is the PS4 Gen 2 2 boxes?
It is.
And they're boxier than the TurboGrafx.
The PS4 Pro is 3 boxes.
Yeah.
It's our first 3-box entry.
It is. But it's like there's such thin, like little patties.
Yeah, I would not compare it to the TurboGrafx. It's less of a box.
PS4 Pro is more of a box than the PS4 Gen 2 because it has the extra box.
Are they both boxier than the 360e?
No. 360e
Okay.
is still more boxy,
even though that has gloss on it.
But we don't like the way it has its gloss.
It's not. It's the gloss in this case is not elevating it. It's not making it better.
Yeah.
But it has more texture than either of the PS4s.
Yeah, but the shape of it is more box also. There's a lot of factors.
Sure.
It's nuanced, Cody. You're just not going to get it, man.
It's a complex algorithm.
I'm a sphere in a box world. What can I say, man?
That's true.
Okay, moving on. Let's wrap these up here. We got the Microsoft.
What do you think we're going to say about the Xbox One?
This is not a box.
2017. This is a box.
Okay.
How is this not a box? Think about what I just said about the Xbox
One S. Compare it to the Xbox One S.
It is the same fucking thing as the Xbox One S, which is not a box.
No, it isn't. It's black.
It's so much more boring.
It has no texture. The shape is
stupid.
Less interesting.
You're the one who made the Just a Box category. You have on yourself.
I made the Just a Box category.
No, I did not.
Shaded? Okay.
And I'm so glad I did.
Oh, so this
is way more fun.
This is a box.
This is a box.
This is a box.
And is it
this is more of a box than the 360e?
You think it's more of a box?
Yeah.
It's
I agree more rectangular.
I agree
like hard edges and stuff, single finish. Yeah.
And to your point, Cody, the 360e has the different finishes, which makes it less of a box than the Xbox One X.
But more of a box than a system that doesn't have the finishes.
Because they're angled.
Because of the shape, bro.
And slightly
rounded.
And
it's layered.
Okay. All right, moving on to the Nintendo 2DS XL. This thing's pretty ugly.
2017, I do not like this thing.
I do like the blue buttons, but I agree. I do not like it.
Is it worse than the normal DS?
It's very thin.
This is a meh for me, honestly, overall.
It is not worse than the original DS, certainly not. It's
like,
not worse than the Neo Geo X.
The top of it is just like a cheap Android phone. There's nothing else going on the top of this thing. It's just the screen.
This goes below the Neo Geo.
Yeah,
I think it's better than the Neo Geo X.
Oh, I see.
No, I don't. I think it's not as good as the Neo Geo X. Right. The Neo Geo X has the clear buttons. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems right. The Nintendo Switch.
Also 2017.
Crazy that a DS came out the same year the Switch did. That doesn't seem like that should be the case.
I like the Switch.
I like the Switch. Yeah.
I like the colors. Actually, I actually don't like a lot of the colors. I like that there are colors. It's a Nintendo thing.
Yeah. The Switch is a meh for me.
It's got a nice screen. Yeah, maybe it's got a
really big bevel on that screen.
I would put it. I would put it probably above the NES though, like at the top of meh at worst.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's fair. Okay. We have the Google Stadia, sort of a similar situation to the Shield Portable and Ouya. And
the very bottom of literally just a box because it is a circle, but the circle is just a box. Yeah. That was in
You know what, Cody? I'm starting to see why you think this is stupid. It's got to go at the bottom of literally just a box because it's a circle. Like, imagine just hearing that just in a vacuum.
Oy vey.
That is true. Like, objectively, that is correct. In a category of literally just a box, The circle should be the least just a box. That's
here's the problem. True. We need another category where there's literally just a box and then just a box. We need a separate category. Because the just a box would be the Stadia, the Shield TV, the OnLive Cloud, the Ouya, the Steam Link, PlayStation TV.
Okay. So
those would be in just a box.
Above literally just a box, we have a new tier called just a box.
Yeah.
For comedic value. Because then it's just a box and then literally just a box.
Yeah.
I agree with you. We need a new tier called just a box.
Oh, you're going to add it? Oh my God.
Yeah. You're right, though. This feels better.
Yeah, it does feel better.
It feels more fair.
Yeah.
It needs to be a different color. Just a box
Feels
needs
great.
to be a different color.
You're right. Oh, God, what have I done?
Oh, man.
Just a box and literally just a box need to be in the same color family. Come on, man. What are we doing here?
No, put straight trash. Straight trash is like gray, because we have no feelings about it, or no positive feelings about it. I mean,
Cody, you're fucking it up.
Look, what are we doing here?
You're changing the wrong ones.
Oh my God!
Okay, no, you did good. That was a good job.
I can live with this.
That's a good job.
Okay.
Because we're hotter and we get cooler as we go down. That's
Holistically,
good.
I've never loved that like S tier is red and it goes to green at the bottom. That makes no fucking sense. Green is good.
Because red is a better color than good.
I know that you love red, but if you think about anything in the entire world, red is bad.
Okay. Anyway, moving on. We have the Nintendo
What color's
Switch
the
Lite.
stop sign, bro? Like if the stop sign was green, you'd be like, oh, I should stop stopping. I should go.
Nintendo Switch Lite is 2019. This is worse than this. You know what?
No, I think it's
better
better
than
than
the
I like
Switch.
it better than the
It's
Switch.
better than the Switch.
It's better than the Switch. Yeah.
I like
It's
the
in solid
colors.
vibes.
I like it. The fact that it's one solid thing. It looks nicer. I like the
better
it
than
does
the
look
original
cheaper,
360.
because it is. But yes. I think that's where it belongs. I do not like it better than the PlayStation X.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Okay, Shay, please enlighten me. Is the Xbox Series S just a box? Or sorry,
2020.
I'm a
Literally
little
just
bit
a box.
conflicted because I think that in the spirit of the category, it is literally just a box, but the giant circle thing on the side makes it different than literally just a box, and in fact makes it
bad.
worse.
Yeah,
than
so it's
just
straight
being a
trash.
box.
Straight trash.
I don't think it's straight trash. I would put it in a hard pass.
Yeah, I don't.
I
think
do.
it's
I think the white
awful.
is still nice.
Yes.
I hate I hate this thing. I would never own this thing.
I would absolutely never own this thing.
Yeah.
Like, having this on my shelf makes me not like the thought of having it on my shelf and someone like coming over and seeing that I own it
like
makes
Funko
me
Pops.
anxious. Yeah.
Yes, but I think that that's also because there are multiple versions of the Xbox series that you could get instead. Like if this was the only version of this console, I don't think you would
Fake
feel
gamer.
that way. Right.
Fake gamers.
Oh yeah,
own this.
only a fucking fake gamer is going to buy the Series S. Why would you buy this?
Yeah.
I think that this is a hard
Digital
pass.
only.
I think it's better than the Shield Portable.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
probably the end.
Yes.
Okay.
The Series X.
2020.
Come on.
This is literally just a box. This
It's
might
a box.
be the new biggest.
He got it.
Box.
He got
this
it.
might be the
Ladies
new
and
biggest.
gentlemen.
Box, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, he got it.
I'll say this. As far as boxes go, I think it's a nice looking box. I like the shape of it because it's more square, cubish than
Monolithic.
I mean, yeah, that's a good because obviously it's not cube because it's very tall, but like from the top down, it is square. I also like the divot on the top and that it has the like mesh kind of holes. Another
Yeah, like
just
the green on
it's
top
just
is kind of
holes.
cool. Yeah.
The green on top.
I
is
would
cool.
argue this is second in literally just a box. Maybe even first.
I think this is...
No, dude. There's too much that I
first.
like about it.
You're telling me this isn't going to be in literally just a box?
No. It is definitely in literally just a box. I just don't think it is the most literally just a box.
I think it goes above the turbo graphics because those are all round. Those are like there's two of them, but they are rounded, and this one is the straightest edged.
Yes. I think this is the most
them.
box.
Yeah, this the straightest edged, like no differential to that form factor of all of them.
This is
Shay.
Here's
It is like harder edges, more of a perfect box than the Saturn. I understand what you're saying about the concave top with the mesh and the green.
Hear me out. It is most literally a box, but it is not most just a box. But you know I'm right.
I don't follow you on this one. I don't agree with you on this.
Like, I think this is less of a box than the Xbox One X or the 360e.
No.
That's fine. For the sake of it's almost 3 hours. That's fine.
Oh, man, it is, isn't it?
Oh, boy.
Honestly, though, viewers, if you're still here, obviously you're enjoying this. I do feel like this is the litmus test for us. If you are listening and watching to this and you're like, these guys are so dumb, I hate this, you're right. You're right. You should stop engaging with our content. This is the litmus test. If you like this shit, you like our content.
Oh boy, this one might get a little contentious here.
I agree with that.
The PS5
2020. Hot trash. Straight trash.
I think this thing is extremely ugly, but I like it.
No, you're wrong.
It is.
Your opinion's wrong.
What I hate is that I have to put it next to my TV because it doesn't fit in my furniture. That does suck.
I hate that in order to put it sideways, you have to put this weird little stand that like never feels right no matter how you put it on there.
And it looks terrible
Never
on
feels
its side.
It looks
because
bad.
the shape isn't even. It's like, yeah.
I like the PS5.
I still like it though. I do. I think it's ugly, but I like it. I like the color. I like the blue.
I like the movement. I love the white.
This is the worst one.
The shape is nice.
This can't go below meh. This can't go below meh.
This is the bottom of straight trash. This is worse.
There's absolutely no way.
Than the
This
Kalik.
is not absolutely not worth. No.
This offends me deeply.
I don't love it. If this was me and I was making this tier list, this would be in solid vibes.
That's crazy.
See, I would probably still put it in hard pass because it can't be in meh. It's too wacky to be in meh. Because I don't.
You have to feel something about it.
Yes, exactly. So I would not put it in solid vibes because at the end of the day, I do think it is ugly and a bad design in terms of form over function. But I certainly would not put it in straight trash. I would put it in hard pass, probably at like the top of hard pass is where I would put it.
You like the way the PS5 looks more than that original fat PlayStation 3?
100%.
Absolutely, yes.
I would literally take anything on this list over the PS5.
That's insane.
You're being a hater now because there's no way.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
You would rather have the Vectrix.
Nothing about it makes sense. Nothing about it makes sense. Nothing about it makes sense. I would rather have double Jaguar. I would rather have double Jag.
You're a liar.
Oh, okay. Can we?
What's the lowest you guys are willing to put it?
I personally would not put it in hard pass, but I'll put it at the top if we can compromise on that.
I think that's a good spot for it.
Okay.
Because we're not saying that it's good.
Wow.
By putting it in hard pass is what I'm saying. Like collectively, we're not saying that it's good, so which should satisfy Kyle, but it can't be in straight trash because Cody and I still like it at the end of the day.
Yeah. And I really like it for what it's worth.
I don't really like it. You're crazy.
Okay.
But I do like it.
Charlie's Theron.
It is the least just a box, maybe, of any console.
That's true.
The Nintendo Switch OLED. This
that
immediately
just goes right above the Switch.
It's better than the Switch because the white Joy-Cons are cool.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, but I don't know. The Joy-Con thing, I don't know that we can judge based off that because like any Joy-Con would get attached to this thing.
True.
True.
But it goes right above the Switch.
I think it also might have smaller bezels than the original Switch did, which would make it cooler looking. So.
Yeah, I think you're right.
The Analog Pocket.
This is another one that looks like just a TV console.
This is maybe for me. This is like just below the original Game Boy or just above the original Game Boy.
That's where
I fucking love my Analog Pocket so much.
Yes.
Wait, like, you serious?
Yes, dude.
It is a dope.
I fucking love it.
It's a dope thing.
It just looks so clean and fresh. The way
that's why I hate it.
It might be hard to tell, but like from the screen on up is one solid plane of glass, but like glossy finish. It looks so clean and so nice.
Yeah,
there's nothing to it.
It's real good.
Like this is like a handheld version of just a box.
What is there to the
like I understand. What's better about the Game Boy?
I don't want to broach that. Never mind. I'm bored.
Like this has all this is corporate, dude. This is fucking corporate America right here. Like there's no personality, there's no innovation, there's no point of view, there's no design.
It's like if Neo Geo made a Game Boy.
Dude, I'm telling you.
No, totally not. Neo Geo
really
feels
high quality, really nice.
Neo Geo feels premium. The brand feels premium. This does not feel premium in the slightest. The logo looks like a fucking AI crypto company.
I promise you, if you had one in your hands right now, you would feel very different.
I don't care about how it like feels in my hands. I care about what it looks like.
Well, not like
you would
in
be able
person,
to see it better.
It looks really nice.
How is this not just a box?
This thing is fucking rad. It's fucking awesome.
It looks worse in person. It's so wide. Why is it so wide?
It's not. It's literally the form factor of the original like Game Boy Color, but it's just the screen goes all the way out to the edges. The screen goes all the way out to the edges.
It is almost no wider than the Game Boy Color. Maybe a little wider, but not like a large.
We're talking fractions of an inch.
It's rad as hell. It's rad as hell. The Analog Pocket is sick. But it can go down to solid vibes. It's not meh. I can tell you right now.
No, not at all. And it's also not literally just a box. It is clean, baby.
Yeah.
I have a red one that's like slightly see-through. That's good shit.
Tell me where you think it should go, like with this conversation. Not like literally, Kyle.
I think it probably goes below the original Game Boy. But given you, Shay, if we were to put it in solid vibes, anywhere near the top of solid vibes.
Could you live with above the SNES?
Yeah.
Is that high enough?
Below the PS4? Yeah.
Yeah.
I can live with that. I really do not like it. Like, I take your guys' word for it, but again, just visually, I'm like, there's fucking nothing to this thing. It doesn't look premium to me. The buttons look very plasticky and cheap.
It's in the finishing touches. The buttons are super not cheap. They feel really, really nice.
For sure.
Okay.
And like the top two are slightly indented, and then the bottom two are like convex. It's like concave and then convex. So like depending on what you're playing,
I don't like that either.
It feels really good.
Do y'all feel like cranking? Let's do some cranking with the Panic Playdate.
Yeah,
the Playdate is adorable.
Playdate. I like the Playdate a lot. It's very fun.
Great color.
Yeah,
it's a really nice
terrific
yellow
color.
It's the only
solid
console?
vibes. Yeah, the only crank yankers. I get solid vibes from Playdate. I think it's certainly got that fun factor that I think pushes it to like maybe the top of solid vibes or below the Xbox One S.
Okay. Yeah, put it at the top of solid vibes. I mean, is it rad? Is it rad? I think it's kind of rad. I'm into it.
Maybe.
Because I feel like the biggest reason why
it's got
Xbox
like nice
One,
metal stuff going on.
Yeah.
The Xbox One S and Gen 2 and the PS4, we really liked. Like, it's like the elevated just a box, and that's why it ended up not in rad as hell. The Playdate's doing its own fucking thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Where in rad as hell, bottom's fine. I'm fine with it there.
Yeah, I think bottom is probably fine. Yeah. All right, we got the Steam Deck, the original Steam Deck.
Also 2022.
I think it looks kind of cool.
I think it looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty chunky.
Solid
it's
vibes.
pretty big. It's very wide, which is not my favorite.
I like the two-tone sticks.
So we can say we like it more than a Switch Lite. We like it more than let's look at its competitors or its comparisons, right? Like a PS Vita. I think I like this more than the Vita.
Yeah.
Do we like it more than the Game Gear? I would probably say so. I think it looks cooler than a Game Gear.
You like it that much?
I think it looks pretty cool.
I don't like it as much as like the DS's.
Yeah, I think I prefer the DS's.
Okay.
Like I would put it above. The
I actually
Slim.
think Game Gear goes below the DS Lite. Maybe. What do you think, Shay? The DS Lite's really good.
Then I think the PS1 needs to come down too, because I like the Game Gear more than the PS1.
I think both of those have to go down below the DS Lite. Yeah, and then the Steam Deck goes.
I would put the Steam Deck above the PS2 Slim.
Wow, that's low.
There's a lot of like neat little finishes on it.
Yeah, those are what I like. Like the lines. I like those two big square pads. The glossy buttons. Cool. I like those thumbsticks.
I like the pattern of the speakers.
It is a really nice console. It's a really well made thing.
Yeah.
I just really like the 3DS and the DS.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I'm open to it. You guys seem,
I would put it above. I would put it
like above.
I'd put it below
Wii
the Wii Mini.
Yeah.
Below or above the Wii Mini. Yeah, below the Wii Mini.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the OLED just goes straight above that in 2023.
A slight upgrade.
Yeah.
All right. We have the PS5 Pro. Now, while I like the PS5, trash. This is trash.
This is absolutely straight trash. This is very, very, very ugly.
Yes. Yep.
It has a better stand, but that's it.
I'm trying to think of like how far down this goes. I don't think
it's uglier than the 2DS. No. Yeah, it is.
As low as you want to put it, baby.
I think that's too low. I might put it. I'm looking at like the Jaguar range. Like, is it above or below the Jaguar? I think it's worse than the Jaguar.
It's more offensive than the grade nothing of the CDI.
You're right.
CDI is kind of too low.
Yeah, this
CDI should go above like the game.com maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we're got our last two here. Wrapping up with first the Analog 64.
2025 question mark tariffs question mark. It's just
it's kind of a worse 64 without the
worse
logo.
64.
Is this just a box?
It's kind of it's a little bit just a box
because we weren't even that high on the 64. I mean,
sorry, it's a little bit literally just a box.
Yes. Yeah,
they stripped out all the fun
64
stuff
for sure. Yeah, I think this is just.
I mean, like I have to trust that Analog's gonna make like a really nice quality feeling product because like the Pocket is incredible. I love it. But like, I mean, to Shay's point, right? Skepticism, like of what it looks like versus what it feels like. This is a product that's not out yet. It's hard to know. But just going based off looks, it's just a less fun N64. Yeah. And I don't have the personal experience to know that it is elevated.
Is it right here below the Gen 2 PS3? And literally just a box?
Maybe below the Atari, because the Atari is more boxy.
Okay.
It has the silver thing, which is interesting, but it is more boxy. This is where it gets tough. That feels like an okay.
I agree.
Spot.
And finally, our last console of this tier list is the recently announced Nintendo Switch 2.
I like this less than the Switch 1.
I do not like the look of this because with the color around the thumbsticks, I think it is super pointless. Something about, and maybe it's because the Joy-Cons don't have color, but the huge difference in placement on the analog sticks look so stupid. It looks like it has a lazy eye. Like, I think it's kind of ugly.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like the Switch 2.
Is it kind of literally just a box in the same way the Wii U is?
I don't think it's that far.
No.
Okay.
No.
But is it straight trash? It's not straight trash.
No, it's not straight trash. I would put it in. Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe.
Above the PS5 in hard pass,
or is it the end of meh?
I think low meh is probably a better spot for it.
Okay.
Because I don't like it, but I don't think it's like bad.
Maybe above the Gen 2 Genesis.
Sure. Yeah, I like the Dreamcast more than it, certainly.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey.
That feels right.
That's a tier list.
Fuck.
Man.
Game Boy Advance SP. Do we feel good about that? As the best looking console ever made. High praise.
I think the GameCube's better.
The GameCube?
But GameCube is elite tier, coolest looking console in my opinion. But I'm not mad with the SP in that position.
I think I feel good with where we're at. I think the SP, the Game Boy Color, and the GameCube are all like in a tier above rad as hell. Like those, I think those three are above everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The specific placement I care
the original
less about,
Game Boy is a distant fourth.
Right.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
But I feel really good about all of our rad as hells. Like I'm less passionate about the Sega CD than you guys, but I see the merit. But everything else in rad as hell, I think, is totally rad as hell.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, those that's a good list.
Is that 360 too high?
I was, if anything,
the Gen 2.
Yeah, it's
No
really
way.
good.
If anything, it's too low.
So fucking beautiful, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's not too low. It's not too low. I think it is absolutely in the right spot.
Okay.
I think all of our rad as hells are like spot on with where they are.
Okay.
We should spend, I mean, we're right at 3 hours, so we should spend another like 25, 30 minutes talking about the literally just a box and making sure we feel good about the ordering of those. What do you guys say?
I think you can go fucking stick your head in the box.
That's fine.
bro.
I'll do a separate episode. I'll do a separate standalone
3-hour-long
episode just of
explanation
me
of the category.
talking about the literally just a box.
Yeah, perfect. That's
I'm gonna need a notes app apology for this just a box fiasco.
I'll send you a JPEG.
Okay.
Send it in a box, though, please.
I'll post it on X.
Literally just a box. Please.
I'll post it on X, the literally just a box of social media apps.
Yeah.
Oh boy, well that's gonna do it for today. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to let your friends know that 3 cool dudes made a really good tier list, and to have them check us out.
Hell yeah! Drop a comment. What's your
Yeah.
coolest looking console? What do you think?
We'll have the this actual tier list in the description, a link to this, so you could fill it out yourself. Let us
Nice.
know what you think the rankings are and how wrong we are. So without further ado, we're gonna head out of here. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. See you, everyone.